The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, sir.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Thursday, June 17th, 2021 years after zero. Today's show on Sirius and YouTube is massive.
Yeah.
Big old show today. We have a legend joining us for the first time ever, Fred Taylor.
Wow.
Yeah, co-host of the I Am Athlete podcast. Cannot wait to chat with him. Also, Chris Long joining us in about 15 minutes. His brother obviously got injured as a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, but came back after a little bit of retirement. Chris won 2 Super Bowls, obviously very tight with his brother. Just want to, chat about what's going on in his life with his incredible Green Light pod. And then also what he thinks about his brother Kyle, the state of the NFL, everything like that. And then Fred Taylor, I have thousands of questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Grew up watching him just run. Hey, that Florida Gator running back to end up in the Jacksonville Jaguars on a team that nobody really knew about. He had all the records for the Jaguars franchise most, basically for, I assume, still into this point, because the Jacksonville Jaguars were obviously an expansion team and they were kind of doing their thing. This guy was an absolute fucking legend, though. Felt like he was faster than everybody, bigger than everybody, ran tough. Seemed like it was a power that would bust into a 30, 40, 50-yard run every single play. We watched his best of here earlier today just to kind of get reaffiliated with it. He was a legend on the field. He's a legend off the field. Love hearing him on the podcast. Cannot wait to chat with him. Chris, can't wait to chat with Chris Long as well. Of course, right. But Fred Taylor, first time ever talking to him, so I assume that's going to go well. Joining me at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Connor, you have a shirt on that is absolutely beautiful. You designed it yourself, and I'm proud of it. We got a chance to hear this guy talk. That's on the right side of that that shirt. Ernie Adams spoke yesterday. The overlord for the New England Patriots organization, this superhuman, this Rain Man-like guy figure that was recording. No, I'm sorry.
Whoa. Wow. Whoa.
He was not recording. Mentally, he was logging them with his photographic memory. Allegedly, this guy could do everything. Scheme. He knew who was bad on the other team, what was good. He potentially could memorize people's signals or tendencies or something like
Part
that.
of the game.
He's this person that has been alongside the greatest coach and GM of all time, Bill Belichick, forever, and he never really spoke until yesterday. You listened, obviously, as any Patriot fan would, excited to hear what this guy was all about from his own perspective. What were your thoughts? Is he a guy that everybody outside of New England who maybe had learned about as of late and like, oh, we hate that guy? Should people hate him, or does it seem like this guy is just the truth when it comes to football encyclopedia shit?
He's the absolute truth. He said yesterday he's been working in the NFL for 46 years, 21 with the Patriots. I mean, that is absurd. He also went from the NFL, took like a 5-year hiatus, went to Wall Street, made a shit ton of money, came back to the NFL, and then went back to the Patriots. I mean, it was incredible. Well, like you said,
so he's one of these nerds that just so happen to love football.
Yeah, analytically, he's just lights out. And like you were saying, like he could just tell scheme. He would go on the field before games,
he
watch
was PFF.
players.
So Bill Belichick has been running PFF and scoring systems and grading systems on every player for the last 20 years. It's just becoming the whole analytics thing where everybody has a book and they go through everything on what you should do on this down or this down in this situation. The people talk about how, there's a mathematist or somebody who is making decisions for these coaches on rather large, situations, whether it's 3rd or 4th and short in a playoff game or something like that. They'll cut to somebody now up in the booth. It's like, here is the analytics advisor for this team, and it's somebody who has a headset on. I think they go directly down in there and they either have a book or a whole tendency and what are the outcome and what's not going to be that. If that's what Ernie has been doing for like 20 years, it makes sense if they were just able to keep that under locks too, that they've been using the analytics for so damn long. Now everybody else is kind of doing it. I think that was my big takeaway from listening to Ernie speak. And then whenever you say, hey, this guy went over to Wall Street, made a bunch of watching money, it's like, oh, this guy's really good with numbers.
Guy.
This guy's really good with this type of stuff. It's like all these things that have kind of come to the forefront here as of late, which is numbers. You'll hear it's literally when people are hired, they're asked, are you going to be an analytics or a feel? Are you going to do this? Are you going to have a numbers person, a math person? It's like a new thing. Of course, they've been doing it in New England with 15 years with this one guy on a dry erase board.
Yeah, he's like the godfather of analytics in the NFL. Because, I mean, growing up, it wasn't like I knew Ernie Adams as a household name. But as, the game developed and analytics became more common, it was like, okay, we have one of those guys. I've had him for years, too. And he's the reason that, or one of the main reasons that we have, been so successful.
I will say, I'm not sure if he was the first. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea if he was the first. I assume there were some teams that had some mathematists. If you're a super competitive person and you maybe get into a point where you're like, oh, well, law of averages can help us out too, right? Can it? And I assume somebody has done that, but it was all so secretive, right?
Yeah.
Because nobody wanted anybody else to potentially think about, hey, those football meatheads over there, they got no idea these nerds are a fucking weapon. They
no clue.
And by the way, shout out to Ernie for being a nerd, right? Who also loves sports.
Yeah.
I love the super sports nerds because I feel like the sports community is always considered as the stooges.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at the sports stooges.
Mm-hmm.
Just like whenever, the Notre Dame fans went on to the
field
against
Clemson.
After beating the number one. Well, I think it was maybe. We don't know when the height was, but it was in the... I think it was coming down. The curve had been stopped, or slowed down at least.
For sure.
But the next day, there was 200,000 people on the street somewhere celebrating something else. And the sports crowd was these obnoxious, ignorant, dangerous, basically, is how it was being. Which, by the way, okay, cool. You're smarter than me. You're telling me that is dangerous. Okay. But then there was another celebration. I think it was the election. Maybe the election.
Yeah.
Maybe the election celebration that was happening. They're like, look at these passionate, excited people. It was like the sports community is always the dumb people. We are all, by the way, cool with it. Hey.
Sure.
Wear it.
Ignorance is bliss, baby.
That's right.
Hey, look at them boys compete out there.
Hell yeah.
Hey, look at our ladies go ahead and dominate everybody else. Let's go. Hey, this is a good time.
Hey, go get that ball.
Hey, all right.
Come on now.
I understand that is potentially the thing, but us having these types amongst the sports, Aaron, by the way, going on Jeopardy and representing, that's good for sports. I'm a big fan of that. I like Andrew Luck, I don't know if this is something that was told to me, but I think he was like the number one ranked architectural engineer free agent or something, because I think in that world, by the way, the architects and the engineers, I think they have like leagues. Like I think it's like you get to
I think it's a pretty competitive
lot of money. Like you're like a professional. Like it's a lot of money where you get kind of brought into like different buildings and whatever it is. I think he's like if you wanted to be the guys who are absolute brainiac, it's like that's good. I like whenever that happens. So shout out to Ernie, man.
Yeah,
hell of a run, buddy.
Thank you, Ernie. Miss you, Ernie.
Now, a lot of people are going to say Ernie was a part of a lot of terrible things up there, and he probably added to that with the thought of his big brain stuff, soften the ball a little bit, probably get a little...
Don't call him a cheater.
I don't know about that.
Well, because when it gets cold, Ernie will say, when it gets cold, the ball will soften naturally. So if you take a little more out of there, I don't think anybody will catch it. I mean, maybe that was happening. We don't know where his incredible knowledge and brilliance and forethought got stopped or continued, but all we're saying is obviously a massive part of a massive successful run that I have nothing but respect for.
Absolutely, me too. And that game was close. If those balls were fully inflated, who knows what happens with the Colts going forward?
Yeah. What was it? 30?
45-7.
So we lost by 30 something.
Yeah.
We played the Saints. I've told you guys.
That week, just slinging it around the field.
That particular week, I don't think they had me thrown in practice at all. But that Saints game, when we went marching in,
Oh yeah.
When the Colts come marching in, when the Colts come marching in for a night game, they will end up losing by about 50 to 60 points. That was a big one, man. There's a couple games you remember just getting your absolute ass beat. One of them, and by the way, the wins that we win by a lot, those are also awesome. I have little to nothing to do with. The losses by a lot. Normally punter, little or nothing to do with. You just remember how miserable everything is when there's moments. We played Green Bay in a preseason game, I think. and we might have lost by 200 points. It felt like that place was celebrating a lot, and it was packed out, by the way. Lambeau was packed out in the preseason game, and we lost by a lot. And Aaron even did
he did a belt.
Wow.
Yeah, he even did a belt.
Double check.
I think it was the third preseason game.
So he got like a full drive.
Yeah, drive and a half or so, like a quarter almost. And then some teams, the way they handle preseason, by the way, some guys, we wanted you to get to halftime, go through a halftime, and then come out for the third quarter because that middle eight is so important. So, like, coaches, decide how to spend that third preseason game or whatever. Used to be a big deal. And I think now they're down to 3 preseason games, right? So that used to be a much bigger deal. I think now we're at the point where guys are like, yeah, we're not doing it.
Don't need it.
Listen.
See you week 1.
Hey, we'll figure it out. We got 17 games. Okay, it's always a long season anyways. We talk about how just want to get better each week. Post-Thanksgiving football is all that matters. Do these 4 drives fucking matter against this team that is literally not I think that's going to become what are the upside? Well, they could they could get great rhythm. They could figure out their halftime routine.
Game reps.
Okay, yeah, get some game reps with the lights on. Hey, you're not wearing a red jersey maybe for the quarterback. Maybe you are getting jammed, not by someone on your team. Okay, here we go. Is that going to happen inevitably probably in a couple weeks anyways? Yeah, okay. That matters, though. You're right. That does matter. What are some cons? Oh, blown ACL. They're out for the year.
Yep.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Well.
Is that the one con? Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that is really the only con. So is it worth it? Everything is like, is it worth it? That is everything with preseason football. That particular game, Aaron did have some drives, and they did not decide to just rest him until the season started. He might have scored 500 touchdowns against us. It just felt like they were singing the entire fucking time.
For you, were you like, did you need the preseason games or look forward to them just because, get back into it?
And I did not look forward to them.
Yeah.
I did not look forward to the last 3 quarters of preseason games. Because although your stars, right, might opt out of playing or whatever, you normally have your special team crew, in the first quarter. Like people that are probably going to be there. Now, it is big for a lot of guys to make the team because special teams is where a lot of guys make the team. Even the superstars at your college, somebody that was a massive, big man on campus at your college, superstar, there's a really good chance that the only way he's going to make an NFL team is if he plays special teams. So, like, preseason's a big deal to see what person that has never been asked to play special teams football in their life can transition into a pass set for a punt, block, sprint 60 to 65 yards, and then tackle somebody in the open field or whatever. So it does matter. But for me, in that process of them trying to learn if they can do that or not, there's a lot of situations where, guess what? They can't.
They can't. Yeah.
And maybe their first go is nowhere near what they're going to be on their third go, maybe. But, man, we're still in that first go, and somebody has to experience that. I've been flipped on HBO Hard Knocks, Cincinnati. Anytime, and every once in a while, you that's when you have to try out your backup long snapper, too, whatever person on the team is your backup long snapper, just in case, because you never know what's going to happen. And it's a live rep as opposed to in practice or whatever. So there's balls coming back woobly, it literally turned into a, and Vinatieri, shout out to your ball, man. I think it'd be worth more if it's, used a little bit. It used to turn into snap, just kind of like, literally as the ball is in my hand, I'm just
get it out.
See, as soon as it gets there, I'm out of here. So I needed preseason to hit some balls, I think. But most of preseason was just catch and release as quick as possible, and then walking to the sideline. I've told this story before, but it's worth saying again. There was John Tierlink, JT, this incredible defensive end coach. All right, he'll go down as the pass rushing GOAT if you talk to Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney, basically anybody that he's coached. I think he was at the Vikings for a while and maybe the Lions. He's been all around. Wow. He was this legendary human. Okay, big guy though. We're talking big guy. He could take down a case of beer one night training camp if he had to.
Okay.
Big body. Big body, big legend, though. Also,
Yeah.
would like a case of beer every night, too. Like, hey, let's have a good time here. Everybody liked him. I did not know him, though. He's a defensive end coach, pass rusher coach, drinks beers, big guy. Assumed he would just hate me, the punter. I punt the ball. I think it's my rookie year, preseason game. Guy goes in for a block. He misses, but normally when somebody goes for the block, they're circling back to set up a wall or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that guy goes through. I punt it. I'm jogging down trying to cover because I think I'm trying to. It's either my first year or second year. I forget which year. It was one of those years. I'm trying to prove to my teammates, like, hey, listen, I don't know what you guys are used to. Hunter Smith, great athlete, but I will also
get in there.
I will throw my, like, I'm not scared to make a play. So it's a preseason game. I'm jogging down, and this guy, he circles back. I did not remember that there was a guy behind me, so I'd assume this may be my. He hits me probably with I think it was a 15 to 20 yard lead up, right in the middle of the field. His shoulder right into my chest. Boom. So like a perfect blindside block almost. Didn't fall.
Ooh, what?
But I lost every single ounce of oxygen I had inside of my body. So I had to, I take a knee there, I get up, I walk off. The whole thing, I'm having like I'm going to die here.
No air. Yeah.
One of those things, So everybody knows what's happening, but there's no real cure. So you just kind of have to live through it. And it's kind of it's like, hey, we've been there, done that. And as I'm getting my, it's coming back, I think a lot of people are learning. JT comes over. Okay, and he's a massive man. So whenever he would either stand, there he is. He would either stand or he would take a knee. And I was sitting on the bench. This the first time he came over, and he sat down next to me. Okay, and it was a big guy. He puts his weight on my leg and sits down or whatever, And I'm like, how's it going? He goes, are you all right? And I'm like, I'm getting He's like, hey, guess what's going to happen? And I was like, what's that? He said, they're going to score a fucking touchdown right now. And then like literally a second later they scored. He's like, who cares? Nobody. This is the preseason, okay? You kick the ball and you get the fuck off the field. Okay, if they score a touchdown on you, who cares? Nobody cares. Okay, this game doesn't matter. We don't need you eating a shoulder basically from 30 yards and being gone. So you kick the ball and then what? Get off the field. Thank you. They tapped me, and then he stood up, and he just walked away. And it was like one of the coolest coaching experiences I've ever had in my time. Yeah, there he is.
Damn.
Yeah. And from that moment on, by the way, we got along pretty well.
Yeah.
We got along pretty well because the next punt, I literally just whoop, bang.
Yeah.
And I walked off, and I looked over. He's on a knee, and he like gave me like,
salute.
Yeah. It was cool because he's DN guy, defensive line guy, football guy. Punter, kicker, I assume he wouldn't, but those are the things in preseason, by the way, that you can't put a price on.
That's right.
So all these people that want to get rid of preseason and take these chances away from young players, and you don't get. What about that moment with me and JT over there, John Tierlink on the
How about that?
What are you gonna do?
If we didn't have preseason, that would never happen. Now, also, I did almost fracture my entire sternum there.
Yes, you did. Collapse lung, perhaps.
Oh my God, I was so scared. I literally, as he hit me, I thought my entire body just broke. Didn't fall though, by the way.
Guys probably respected that.
It was good on film. I was running though, full speed as well. So it was I think it was just like kind of like
just like two brick walls hitting each other.
Yeah, he did not get hurt at all though. I think he went ahead and walked it off, but I was damn near dead. Yeah. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen. A man who has an incredible podcast, Greenlight Pod. A man who has 2 Super Bowl rings. I don't know how many Lombardis he purchased from Tiffany's. I'd assume 2 of those as well, so he can maybe toss them around his boat or his house or anywhere else that he frequents. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, legendary name, legendary man, Chris Long. What up, Chris?
What's up, fellas?
Ooh. Oh, that mustache. Wow. Are you kidding me, dude?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, you see that? I'm having a hard time triangulating here, but yeah, y'all see that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, is this a decision that was made? Are we really going for this mullet mustache? How long are we sticking with it? Is this just pre-haircut? What's going on here?
Oh, listen, man. Yeah, I'm trying to get a little waterfall going by late in the summer. I think that's in. It's been in for some time. And the mustache was, let me get you some better lighting here.
Hold on, no, my favorite part there was your head poking into the frame.
I mean, it's bad, dude. Hold on a second. Golly, dude.
No, it looks good. There it is.
No, there we go. I'm trying to get this shit together here. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool,
you got it, yeah.
So yeah, I grew the mustache. I only grow the mustache on special occasions. Well, I don't grow the mustache. I just shave my beard because I never have like a shaved face. You always shave, right?
No.
And then or you shaved for the first time in a long time recently?
Yeah, I got bullied by the WWE. Don't be a bully, be a star, I was told. But yeah, I don't look good. I don't look good with a shaved face. You do, though.
I don't know about that. I don't like to. I feel naked without facial hair. But yesterday, I got to throw out a first pitch at the local little wood bat league game, so I would consider that a special occasion. Okay. And I busted out my alter ego, which is Rod Carricker. I don't know if you ever saw me buying a lotto ticket on the local news.
Oh, yes.
A few years, but yeah. So got a little local inside joke there. Threw out the first pitch, threw a strike, and now I got a mustache to show for it.
I do like that you got a gimmick in some parts because of a local news situation. Did you throw? Hey, did Rod Carricker throw gas yesterday or no?
I think they clocked me at 48.
Wow.
Yeah, so the first time when I threw, it was at Busch Stadium, and that's like a big deal, right? Let me get this shit together here. The lighting's terrible now.
It's all right, Chris. It's okay. It's okay. We don't care. You look good.
FaceTime is a motherfucker.
No.
Hey, so the first time I threw a pitch out was at Busch Stadium, and if you've ever been to Busch Stadium, they call it baseball heaven. It's like a big deal. It'd be like going to Lambeau. So I was a rookie in St. Louis. I was nervous. This is the first time that a lot of St. Louis fans got to know me. And what do? I go full wind up, and I throw it hard because the catcher I was playing catch with was like, hey, if you do anything, just don't skip it. And I said, okay, don't skip it. So I said, I'm going to go full wind up, and I'm going to bring some heat. So I tried to hit like 82, 83, like high school days type thing. And I sailed it, and I nearly hit a World War II vet in the side of the head, and it bounced off the backstop at Busch Stadium and rolled all the way to first. So it was a very embarrassing start, too. What was a relatively embarrassing stay in St. Louis as a football player? Dude, can you imagine? I said this on my pod last week, man. If I killed a World War II vet, like imagine you like survive Iwo Jima and then you get hit by some rookie with the first pitch at Busch Stadium.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, Chris. I love listening to you speak. I always find you wildly insightful, entertaining. I think you're a good speaker. When you started that story about Busch Stadium and everything, I was like, oh, this is going to be a fucking terrible story. And I just thought you were going to say you skipped it in. I thought you were going to say you skipped it in because I think that's what everybody does when they throw it hard. They skip it in. Instead, you almost took out a member of America's greatest generation. I had no idea, Chris. I had no idea. That is unbelievable. Did you play baseball in high school? Good baseball? Your brother was a guy, right?
I wasn't up to the standards of my little brother, Kyle. He was damn good. He got drafted by the White Sox later round or whatever. But, I mean, lefty throwing 95, like 6'7" on the mound.
Yeah.
I'm getting out of the way. But I was pretty decent. I was a good fastball hitter. I'll put it that way. I could hit a fastball about a half a mile. But if you threw me a curveball, it was going to be a long day.
Let's talk about your football career. And even though you almost killed a World War II vet and you didn't win that much in St. Louis for whatever reason, you end up with 2 Super Bowl rings. Now you're doing the media thing. You enjoying life? You happy with everything that's going on? Are you pumped up about how your football life is and is currently happening?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I see you grinding over there. I think one thing you realize as you get into it is it is a grind. It's a different grind than football, right? Like, because when we played, it was a physical and a mental grind, and you had the highs and the lows. Like, you had the extreme highs of, like, winning a big game, and you had the lows of playing terrible and Twitter lighting you up and not wanting to go to a grocery store. I never have those days anymore. If I have a bad pod, I can still go to Whole Foods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the even-keeled nature of post-football is great. I really like it. Probably for you too. When you were tired of some of the shit. I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And the media gives me a chance to grind without the kind of the anguish of the lows. You know what I mean? But you don't get the highs either. And it's a grind. Yeah. Social media is a grind. I always feel like we got to keep up. I got to watch everything, and that kind of sucks. But other than that, I really like interviewing people and just meeting people.
You're doing well. Your brain is a good one, and your resume is legit. So I hope you continue just to enjoy it and crush it. But we're taking a break next week, actually. So I don't think you should ever feel scared or think that you have to keep up with everything. I mean, it's impossible at this point. But there's some good shit going on if you do decide to keep up. There is an insane world happening on the internet right now. I just opened the TikTok. I just started the TikTok, dude.
Yeah, you're way younger than me in like a way that like you get the kids, man. Like I feel like I'm a washed up. I feel like I'm just this washed up old guy that I'm like, I'm out on the inside jokes. You know what you have that I really like, Pat, is you built this kind of thing where your buddies are there. And that's like kind of what we're slowly but surely doing. You know, like only a couple of my buddies come into, you know, Nap City is a lot bigger than Charlottesville. So finding, you know, talented help is sometimes difficult. But, you know, I love the fact that you feel like you're doing a hometown thing. Like you're doing something with connections you made from your playing days, and you're bringing buddies along. Like eventually that's what I want to have. And then your buddies can like spend the time on Twitter and explain what the fuck TikTok is. And
oh yeah. Else. Well, that's the issue. We did have one buddy here who was on TikTok, and I was then asked by somebody we do business with, "Is that going to be your representative of your entire show on TikTok, or what are you going to do?" And I was like, "You're right. All right, You're right. I should probably get on there, but I think you do great work, Chris. Have a little bit more faith in yourself." Talking about Charlottesville, Virginia, your brother was living there, I think, whenever we did a conversation with you. And I think he actually said on our show, he said, "Hey, if Chris wants some, I'm rocked up. I'm 315, I'm rocked up." It felt like when he was getting back into it, and I don't know him like that, or I don't talk to him on a daily basis, just from afar and a little bit, you know, it felt like he found love for football again. That's what it felt like. And just like you said, with the anguish and the whole process of being in the NFL, it's not just the games, it's everything about it, whether you feel like you're getting fucked by front office or the body's beat up or Twitter's burying you or you had a moment. You could see how being a professional athlete, especially in a situation that you don't necessarily respect, can weigh on people. It happens all the time, but it felt like your brother was all the way back. Like talking to him on the show, it felt like, I was like, this is the Kyle Long that I met like after his rookie Pro Bowl or whatever, or his second year Pro Bowl. It felt like he was all the way back. This injury is a fucking bummer, but I was so happy to see your brother kind of get back in the game. The game needs him. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, man. You know, it's really hard being a big brother of somebody who's playing the NFL. I don't care if he's a lot bigger than me. I think I've said this before. You know, like he'll always be a little kid to me. And I don't mean that as a slight. Like he's my little brother. So I don't care if he's a foot taller than me and he's telling me, "Hey, come get some down the road here." He lives a half mile away. He knows where I live too.
That's awesome.
It'd be a good time to get him. But I look at Kyle as like my little brother.
Great time to get him, by the way. Yeah, great time to get him.
It's the only time. So, hey, and one thing, on the record, my strategy would be to tire him the fuck out.
Smart.
All day. And I'm training jiu-jitsu now, Pat, so I feel like I've got some moves. Yeah, like break his elbow or something like that.
Yeah.
Kick him in the balls. I'm not above that if I had to survive. I mean, he's a grizzly bear. But Kyle will always be my little brother, and I can remember being in London after we played the Jags at their home stadium there in London. And I'm sitting there with my mom at some nice restaurant, and she's watching Kyle's game on the phone, and we're celebrating a win, and all of a sudden I just see her face go like ghost white, and I know exactly what happened. You know, he got rolled up on, and I found out pretty quickly that he was carted off, and that was it. And talk about feeling helpless, being halfway around the world and seeing your little brother, who you still see as that little kid, on a cart for like the second year in a row. And I've been there where I got carted off 2 years in a row. Well, I didn't get carted off, but I was IR'd 2 years in a row. And I just know, like, as badass as Kyle is, as tough as you can be, as accomplished as you can be, football can make you feel like a failure. And that's really hard. And people on the internet will tell you. But who gives a fuck what anybody says? And so I think he took his year, he licked his wounds, and he said, "I want to finish strong." Nobody wants to go out like that. And then you had some bad luck in OTAs, which, as you and I both know, these things happen, even in helmets and shells. Or in helmets and T-shirts, and he just got rolled up on. So I'm pulling for him to come back and finish strong, man. He's a guy who's been working really hard to make this comeback, and I'm rooting for him. Okay,
I'm happy to hear that, but not happy he got injured, but the comeback still is conversation piece around a long family, because when Ian Rappaport, do you remember what Rappaport said?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this saga rap sheet, this guy, he said he got an injury. The timeline expectation is before the season, so that means they're going to keep him on the team, I guess, is what Ian Rappaport said. He was like, keep him on the team? What are you talking? Kyle Long was starting for them.
Starting,
He's not starting for them, Ian. This is Kyle Long, dude. Like, what are you even talking about? And hearing you say, I didn't know if that maybe meant that Kyle was like, all right, I'm not going to. I thought Ian was potentially saying that about Kyle was maybe backing off, even though he took a massive shot at Kyle. It's nice to know that Kyle is still going to finish this thing just because of one, little bullshit injury that happens in the middle.
Did Rap Sheet take a shot at Kyle?
Yeah.
Felt like it.
Oh, yeah.
Can he get his own fucking takes, or does he have to copy Diana Racine? I'm just joking. I got no problem with Ian Rappaport, man. Hey, listen, Kyle, I can't say what the prognosis is, and Lord knows as a player, you know how it is. You can never they'll give you a timeline, and you'll hear 40 different things about it. As a player, and this isn't any indication of what's going on with Kyle, because I won't tell you guys. I'll just be out front about that. But
respect.
You know how it is. You get hurt, and they give you a 6 to 8 week timeline, or a 4 to 6 week timeline, or a month. And that's a loaded timeline, because you as a player, once that's out there in the media, then you have to race to beat that, because the court of public opinion sucks. If you're hurt in your locker room alone, you feel weird, when you're walking around your IR and people are looking at you people aren't thinking about you, but you're just in your own head when you're injured in the NFL. You're like, when am I supposed to be back? When are my teammates hearing I'm supposed to be back? When are the fans hearing I'm supposed to be back? So when it comes to reading things in the newspaper, people don't really usually know what they're talking about.
No.
And when you give these generic timelines for coming back, there's so many variables with people. Kyle's going to heal differently than Tyreek Hill. I mean, one guy's 330, one guy's 140. I don't know how much Tyreek weighs, but
one guy's a big bear.
Different
one guy's
athletes, different positions, that sort of thing.
Yeah, one guy's a big bear. One's the most explosive person to probably ever come into the NFL. I mean, you're right. There is
other than you, Pat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did kick a soccer ball 124 miles an hour. Thank you. That means a lot.
Nice.
Thank you. That's different explosivity. But what I'm talking about here is the expectations of him coming back before the season. And you talked about how, okay, so now everybody on earth hears a timeline. And if he does, what was he doing? Did he fuck up in rehab then? That is the court of public opinion you're referring to. But also, while you're injured, don't you also kind of feel separated from the team sometimes?
You do.
Yeah, I fortunately, all my surgeries were in the off season, but I was in the training room a lot because I'm not in a lot of meetings or whatever. And normally,
you guys are hanging out a little bit.
Yeah, we're trying to. I'm playing cornhole. I'm trying to figure
Xbox, little cornhole. Y'all are making up games. You ran out of fucking games.
Bingo. Bored, very bored. Want to let you know, hey, can't wait for them to get out of their meetings so we have some friends to talk to here. But the guys that are hurt and are in the training room, a lot of the things that they say is they feel like they're not a part of the team too. So not only is there this physical pressure and mental pressure you're putting on yourself, but also you feel secluded because you can't go to the shit because you got to get other stuff. It's a tough thing being injured. Does not get talked about enough, I don't think.
It's really hard because think about it. I used to go home on a bye week for 3 days, and you think I was so excited to go home, but you're so regimented that I felt almost depressed to be home on a 3-week bye week or a 3-day bye week because I was so regimented and I need to get with my guys. I need to be in the building. You feel what the fuck am I off for? We're still working towards this thing. That's not to say you don't want your bye week, but just that, you start this impromptu bye week that never ends, and you're just on the table, and you feel self-conscious because people are looking at you, and they might just be looking at you feeling bad for you, but you see a dude look at you when he walks in the training room, and in your mind you're he thinks I'm just milking this because that's you're hardwired that way as a competitor. You know what I mean?
Hey, by the way, I don't think everybody feels that way. I just want to let you know, I don't think everybody feels that way. We had a couple guys that weren't big name guys that were hurt that didn't have that thought, by the way, that were oh, these people are thinking I'm fake. They actually, there's, and we've all seen in Coach JB calls them shitbird. There's people that are like that who who are, but you don't want to be accused of being that person. You know what I mean? Because that person does exist, and those are the accusations that exist. I mean, it's tough.
And I when I got hurt the first time my 8th year, I played in 100 games in a row. I was nails. I played through all types of injuries that I can't talk about or that shot things up that I don't want to throw trainers under the bus, but things I shouldn't have been playing through. And my teammates know that. But the minute I get IR'd for the first time, I feel ashamed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way it is. The mental kind of macho thing in the NFL. And it can suck when you're hurt for a lot of different reasons.
Chris, I appreciate you talking to us, by the way. Your brain is an incredible one.
I take my fish oil and CoQ10, and I smoke marijuana.
Okay.
Copious amounts.
Copious?
Yeah, copious. Yeah, dude, it's fabulous and it's copious. The fish oil. Do you burp that up every day? Is that you take those? I used to burp. I stopped doing it.
I was fucking around. I don't take fish oil. I just, I'm eccentric. I don't know. They say fish oil helps your brain fire better. CoQ10 or something. We could be feeding people bad information.
See, I thought fish oil was for the joints. I thought fish oil was for the
joints. But
joints.
CoQ10, is that brain health?
Yeah, I think so, man. I think CoQ10 is really good stuff.
Doctors,
we love
listening, don't just guzzle a bottle of fish oil with CoQ10.
Yeah, we are not doctors, but if you want to go get a T1H2C3, go ahead and guzzle that out very much. You're probably going to need it if you're wondering what that is. Chris, last question for me, and then the boys have some stuff. Whenever you hear like Bjorn Werner say that I didn't know this, I was on team with him. And I was like, I feel like pretty close, like talk to him on a daily basis. He was taking Toradol for practice every day. 2 pills Toradol for practice every day. Then he was getting shot Toradol for the games on Sundays. I did not know that was happening. I had no idea that was happening to him. But now this Toradol conversation is being recycled again like it was in 2012. It's coming back. And now marijuana's potentially being tested by the NFL as a rehab treatment. What are your thoughts on all of that? And how does the NFL handle this, you think?
Can't we have Mary Jane and Toradol?
Hey, by the way, I want to let you know, me, AJ, Darius, basically everybody's pushing for that. That is the...
Yeah, like, listen, I think adults can... Like, Toradol's dangerous, right? For some of the bleed out reasons and that sort of thing.
Is it? What is it? What does it do? I don't know. I need to know.
Supposedly, head injuries, if you take Toradol, it can exacerbate the whatever. I mean, like, don't take this to the bank. I'm a fucking guy reading the internet. But, I'm also a guy that shot Toradol in my ass cheek for a decade. Yeah. Like, I could not play without it. I mean, like, late in my career. I could, but it would have been bad. And so... I can remember late in my career when that thing started to happen, like one of the trainers was like, a new place I was, they were like, we don't give Toradol shots. I was like, well, Chris doesn't play without a Toradol shot. So you go get the coach, man. And the coach comes over. He's like, what's the problem here? I'm like, well, they won't give me a Toradol shot. And the coach is like, give him a Toradol shot. Like, I feel like some of this is probably, a little bit of lip service. Hey, we're trying to get rid of Toradol. We're at least letting players
grandstanding. You're saying a little bit.
Well, just more like not liability, but like social liability. Like, it's been a couple years that they've been dissuading people from shooting Toradol, and they've been saying pop the pill, which is it's not the same. It's not the same. No, okay.
Yeah.
You want that. You want it to go straight to your.
Hey, Chris, how about when that stuff goes in, by the way, and your whole body you literally feel it just go through the whole body. You're like, all right, here we go.
Let's play football.
I feel like I can go do that sit and reach test right now, and I couldn't touch the box beforehand. I feel like I can go ahead and play drums on the other end of that thing. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable. And then, like, late in your career, if you don't feel great, I almost didn't get, how dudes go warm up out there and look sweet running around and shit, and they got the bands. And that. I never went out there because I knew if I went out there, I was going to get in my head about feeling like dog shit before the shot. First time I hit that field, I need to have already had that shot.
Yeah, smart. So you don't get in your own mind think that you lost it at all or that your body lost it. You're right. Let's get the Toradol and Mary Jane in there. And by the way, the NFL, they can hire their own botanists and scientists, create their own strands. I mean, this could be an entire, evolution.
You're onto this, Pat, and I said this a few weeks ago. The next thing is player strains.
Yeah.
Like, imagine each player having a strain, if you want to. Like, that would sell like hotcakes. And here's the deal about marijuana, man. I know I became like this activist person that people supposed activist because I admitted on Dan Patrick that I smoke from time to time. That doesn't make me an activist. And I also don't use it for pain. Like, I don't use marijuana for pain. Like, people always kind of prescribe the reasons that you probably use it. I use it to sleep, enjoy movies, deal with social anxiety, and generally because I like to get high. Like, I don't have to be the guy on my couch that can't get up, like, smoking 3 grams of, Cali bud so I can just walk around. Like, that's not me. But those guys exist. And so I think what we need to realize is that there are tons of applications for marijuana, and we don't have to say it's got to be paid. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many reasons to use cannabis.
Hey, I agree completely. And the pain can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be whatever. And it seems like this one particular plant has it all figured out. I don't know how we have gotten to the point that we've gotten to. I know it was you can't take it across state lines, and then it was changed into something very differently. I've always said this, Chris, and I assume that you'll agree with me because you have a big brain. The people that are in power about marijuana, I think their first real encounter with it was the hippies. Okay, I think the hippies
counterculture.
Yeah, I think they potentially painted this image of what marijuana is to these, I don't want to say olds, but these olds that are in charge, and they're like, oh, remember what the dope did to those people that were out there?
Yeah, the dope made them think we shouldn't be in Vietnam. Holy shit, maybe you should get some.
Yeah. But it is, I mean, that's a much deeper conversation, but that is exactly what happened, I think, and that's why it's taken so long, but I think we're all getting there, like I hope.
It's the reefer madness thing, like, do you have a beer or is that kombucha that you drink every time?
No, this is green tea, please. Jesus. All right,
sometimes
I
I
did
think
Toradol.
you're really living the dream, but okay.
No, but I mean, what we are referring to right now in this bigger conversation that we're having, I mean, it's a big part of this show.
Oh, yeah.
It is a big part of this show.
All that stuff is a big part of my show. Like, listen, sometimes, I'm probably enjoying cannabis, and you don't even know it when I'm doing a show. Like, it doesn't have to be something where you're just sitting there like couch locked. It can make you more creative. It can make me more focused. So, I mean,
Me too.
And it's not for everybody. I'm not somebody saying it's a panacea or that, like, hey, there's no negative to it. You can smoke too much of it. Fucking newsflash. You can do too much of anything. But,
there's people that can abuse things, by the way. There's people that can abuse things. And that's in every walk of life. We have to hopefully get to those people, change those people, but those people can't be the reason why the large majority of people can enjoy something and, use it properly. The boys have a couple questions for you. I love your take there, Chris. Let's go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Chris, Ernie Adams just retired up there in New England. When you were with the Patriots, did you have any interactions with them in the building or on the field, or were you mostly hearing from Ernie?
I loved Ernie, man. Like, when you walk into a room or a facility and it's just easy to spot the guy that's seen it all, like, Ernie very obviously has seen it all. And just, like, people respect him so much that, any chance I got, I would just kind of, like, bullshit with him or shoot the shit, pick his brain. One time he got hit with a football in the head in practice, and I think everybody's heart stopped because he went down.
Oh, no, is this over?
Yeah.
Is the dynasty over? Get up, you bag of bones.
Come on,
Ernie.
Hey, listen, there's one guy you don't move the drill for, and it's Ernie. Like, everybody else you move the drill. Like, Gronk could get hurt. It's probably move the drill up in New England. But for Ernie, you make sure he's straight before you do your next team period.
Chris, explain to the people who haven't been to a football practice what move the drill is, because the first time I didn't grow up in a football culture community. The first time I saw it, I was like, damn, that's the most savage thing I've ever seen in my entire life the coach just did. And he's just like, no, that's a normal thing here.
Okay, for corporate America, like, imagine you break your leg walking into a board meeting. Like, I guess you'd want them to move the drill. You wouldn't want to be writhing in pain.
But it's legit.
Talking about, like,
Guy gets hurt on 25-yard line. Let's say it's third and medium day or whatever it is. Guy gets hurt on 25-yard line. Bad. Stop practice. Oh, shit. Doctors have to come out, right? Drill gets moved to the 50 then. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody, here we go. Now, same situation. Fuck that guy. We got to go. It is efficient. It makes sense. But the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, we don't give a fuck about that guy.
At all.
Yo, one place we moved the drill, and an ambulance was picking this cat up. Like an ambulance came. He got the ball lodged under his sternum or something, and it broke like the wrong chest bone. I don't want to say rib, sternum, like the wrong one that you don't want broken. And he was having trouble breathing, and I was like, we're still moving the drill? Like, we're really doing, like, red zone right now?
Yeah.
That's fucking the ambulance is here.
How about them moving the pylons too, by the way, if it is red zone drill? Like if somebody gets down in the end zone, they'll just move the pylons. All right, let's go. 10, 15. Just move it down. You got to get, hey, we got 45 more plays.
We got to go.
Who wants to do it? Who doesn't want to do it? It's hey, you got to get better. We care about that.
It's humbling.
It is. I would assume. I've never been on the, okay, well, get the fuck out of our way. I've never been that guy. I couldn't imagine what it was like, but it was crazy to learn about. Last question here, Chris. We appreciate you. Good, Ty.
Chris,
Good,
I don't know if you still have like contacts with the Eagles, but do you think Philadelphia will explode if Carson Wentz performs well for the Colts and things don't really work out in Philadelphia with the quarterbacks they have right now?
You know what? I think Philly would be pretty unhappy if he progressed that way because, you know, you got a new coach, you got a new quarterback, but the guy that you saw that like kind of like that excellence for spots has teased you with it. And it just would kind of twist the knife on the last few years if Frank Reich and those guys are able to get a lot out of Carson. Not to mention, like if Carson plays well, your draft pick isn't as good. So, you know, the whole thing, you know, even if you're a Carson fan in Philly, if you're a fan of the Eagles, you're just hoping he stays healthy and has not the best year probably, right? Because that's going to impact your draft status and that sort of thing. And it's going to make things even, like, more nuts. You just don't – like, if you're an Eagles fan, I bet you don't want him to do well because it would make you feel better about the last couple of years.
But if you're an Eagles fan, you know he's probably going to. You know?
Yeah, he's going to ball out. Dude.
Yeah, if you're an Eagles, I assume if you're an Eagles fan, you just know, like, yeah.
You had him on. How was that? It was good?
Awesome. Hey, Chris. He's big son of a bitch. Hey,
He's bigger than you think.
I did not know he was that big. He's like Lux. When he walked by me, I was like, this guy, I don't know, brain, football, everything like that wise, but he reminds me of Luck when he walked by. I did not know he was that big of a dude. He feels like he loves it out here, by the way, it seems like. It's
a perfect place. And I think he's already very happy. And I think he wanted Philly to work. It just, you know, when things at a certain point, when things just don't work out for long enough, it's like, what else do we have to do here? And I think that was the situation in Philly. So I was happy to see him on with you, so people got to see that side of him. Because he is a good dude, man.
I agree. And so are you. We appreciate you so much, Chris. The Green Light Podcast is awesome. Everything you do is cool. We appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Long.
Yeah, Chris!
Thank you, Chris. Great mustache, dude. Keep it going.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Great
no problem.
Stash.
All right, we got to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side. Love that, dude.
Yeah.
Best.
This is the Pat McAfee Show, Thursday, June 17th. Did you hear everything that was being said whenever you were potentially...
Just from you.
Oh, so you did hear it. Yeah. Okay, so let's address it.
Hold on.
All right.
You can be a hater.
No.
And you can change.
Carson.
You can change. We can change.
No, at the moment I was at, okay, Carson. You know, with the Daily Show, the live Daily Show, you know, we can potentially get referred to as prisoners of the moment. You probably did hear me say some things. That was at a much different time.
Backtrack a little bit.
No,
It's cool. We're here face to face. You can change. People change, all right?
By the way, you are much bigger than I thought you were. Oh, yeah. When Jalen gets drafted there, was that the beginning of it all? Was there a miscommunication? What happened between you and Doug? Because they were saying it was fractured beyond repair.
Yeah.
What happened there? Is all of that accurate? Is that all kind of getting blown out of proportion?
Yeah.
And where did it start?
For one, I don't like to ever come out and say reporters aren't telling the truth because I don't. But
Orlovsky does it.
I'm not. I'm not going to dispute every report that's out there. You know, the way the season went obviously wasn't ideal. When Jalen was drafted, that had no bearing on me. I trusted the organization. Okay. I signed that contract. You know, I was devoted to them, and I felt like they were devoted to me. So I trusted the pick. You know, that had no bearing on my confidence or my abilities. You know, the season unfolded not how I would have liked it. Personally, I could have played better. We lost a lot of games at the end and just didn't fall into place the way we wanted. But there's a lot to learn from it, you know, as a man, as a player, and all those things. And, you know, I have still a lot of respect for Coach Peterson, and I think without a doubt those reports are very exaggerated. Like I said, I don't hear a lot of them. They come to my attention from my agents or different things.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of respect for him, and it was unfortunate for everybody and how the whole thing kind of just went down.
There was a couple still shots that made its way around where you and Doug Peterson appeared to be giving each other a nasty look.
I saw those.
It's not true.
Not true at all.
Oh, you were not saying, I wish you'd die. With your
I don't even think I was looking at him in those shots. So I did see that. I'm like, of course they're gonna play this one up. They're gonna make a story out of anything. That's how it is. So, but yeah, that's not true at all.
Okay, so I'm happy to hear you weren't giving Doug Peterson death looks. Like, you never thought, like, oh, football isn't for me. Like, there was never a thought where I don't like football anymore, or I don't want to be in this bullshit league anymore with this business. There was never a thought like that?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. The way the season went, I mean, it was frustrating. And
People
so
have those
that's why I stepped away, and it almost rejuvenated me. You know, it's almost like last year pissed me off so much. I want to come back in a different way and do everything I can. I am thrilled to be here and to have this new start, new opportunity. And community seems amazing. Fan base seems amazing. Like we said, it seems like the perfect fit.
Oh, there's a parade in Baltimore for Cicadas.
Shut it down.
I'm going to use that Friday Night SmackDown. Baltimore's having parades for cicadas, so let's not assume that everybody's making smart fucking decisions.
Probably Jimmy's seafood fault.
It is Jimmy's famous.
Sons of bitches.
They are.
Goes back to Jimmy.
That place is awesome.
Yeah.
The food is so good.
Delicious.
Ownership. Good dudes. Great dudes.
guys.
Great conversation. But they continue to just push these things that are not. Now they're having parades for cicadas. Unbelievable.
Figure it out, Jimmy's.
They even dress them up, too.
Oh, best crab cakes I've ever had in my life.
Bar none.
Yeah, by far.
They ship them, by the way, I think across the entire country. They show up somehow fresher than they are whenever they leave. Jimmy's famous.
Just as good.
But these goddamn parades for cicadas, get over it.
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Welcome back. Listen, this is the worst sub there is.
Look, I understand. I understand.
I don't know.
Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show, Thursday, June 17th. Connor just got done with a 3-day fast. His first meal of choice after fasting for 72 hours or whatever was...
Meatball sub, baby. Hell yeah. It's delicious. Double the meat up.
Dude, hasn't eaten in 3 days.
Hearty, that probably filled you up, dude.
Right up, I had half of it, just had the meatballs, didn't have
How
the
nice was
sub.
it, too? It was a cool, you're like, I haven't eaten in 3 days. Let me go ahead and get this. Oh, and there's sauce all over me.
Meatballs are so good.
I got sauce on my elbow.
Oh, my
It
God,
made me
my
feel
pants
so
were
cool.
showing. Oh, and let me shove the meatball back in. Oh, I got some
yeah.
sauce on my hand. Let me rub it on the bread now.
Love the sauce.
Oh, let me go ahead and do it.
I got no problem licking my hands after I have a nice little meatball sub.
No.
Bro, the meatball sub stinks, dude.
No.
Come on.
It stinks.
It doesn't.
The meatball, great.
Yes.
Other subs, great. Put them together, shit.
Amazing.
Not if made
Just a bag of shit.
Uh-uh.
Yep, that's why you'll never get me off of this, by the way, because the only meatball that is worthy of being on a sub is titled something different, and that's a cheeseburger sub. Whenever it's cut into little sliders, because it's the same goddamn meat, and it's put into a burger, a patty, that is just a much better sub. Go ahead and stack the cheeseburger sub double high. Go ahead and maybe make it a double quarter pounder like sub. Do whatever you got to do. The meatball itself is not supposed to be within the bread sub thing. It just bounces around, it squishes out. All you got is cheese and sauce at the bottom. No fucking meat. Then it spills. It's all over the place. It's just inconvenient. Listen, if I want to go into a slop like I'm a fucking pig, I'll go get a meatball sub.
Okay.
All right, I'll do that. What do you,
Wait,
do you
what, you don't eat wings
Do you eat it like
'cause
a
they're hard to eat?
typewriter? Do you eat it like a typewriter?
No,
These
you.
things?
Yeah, these meatballs are cut in half, just like that cheeseburger sub you were talking about. It's basically the same thing, but add a little nice sauce.
So you had a cheeseburger sub. Got
You
it.
don't like
With
wings either
marinara.
because you
Oh,
get a little sauce on your hands. They're tough to eat sometimes.
No. Wings are delightful, but meatballs are enjoyed in a fashion, okay, alongside some pasta or maybe even by themselves. Do whatever you got to do. But in a sub, it's a fucking waste of both great things, the sub and the meatball.
You need to stop getting your meatball subs from Subway.
Someone get this guy a
Hey,
meatball
that ain't
sub.
no fucking meatball sub.
Hour one's done. See you in 6 minutes, dude. But let's talk about what happened directly outside of WrestleMania in the MetLife parking lot.
And this guy tells Z, yeah, hey, just follow that car right down that way.
If that awning was literally 6 inches lower, I'm dead.
Hey, who the fuck told you guys to drive down there?
So I get a text from Nick that says, call me when you can. And I never get that type of text from Nick, right?
Granted, it's unfortunate that, the boys, the Roadhawks, didn't have their WrestleMania moment. We talked about it earlier. All of us felt like we were in like a trench in World War II. Tell you what, the WWF would be proud. That's a lot of fucking destruction. I thought the entire building was coming down.
The best looking uprights I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, who the fuck told you guys to drive underneath there? I will never forget April 7th.
Ain't nothing Lady Grey can't handle.
Turn left onto 33rd Street.
They said to come to the loading dock. Yeah, they want to set up a shot, so they're going to come out with cameras and like show that we're tailgating. Tailgate spot. So U-turn? Is that what he's saying? We're just doing a U-turn. Want to move up?
And this guy tells Z, yeah, hey, just follow that car right down that way. And so we're thinking, okay, no problem.
Backing up.
So Z moseys on down this way and just fucking...
God. Jesus Christ. Oh. I think it's stuck. Fuck. I fucking told you guys. Like, come on, dude.
Who told you to go through here?
These guys did.
Nah, you supposed to come through this shot, like right here. I didn't tell you to go through there.
You told me
Yeah, right down this lane here.
Fuck.
The left side.
Come on, guys. Fucking A. I'll be looking out there. Oh, fuck.
So what you just heard was a RV that was clearly too tall for an awning that was hanging over. And Zito was going so fast in that the entire RV ended up under the awning.
Yep.
And it wasn't until they were all the way under that Zito said, "Oh, I think we're stuck." And at that moment, he puts it in reverse and rides back through all of it. And that's what the piercing sound of metal that you heard ripping through.
Fucking. Did I fucking everything up there? The backside fucked too? How's it going, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just keep fucking sending us through here.
They're sending somebody out, just hang tight, all right? Did you check the top? I mean,
It's destroyed.
scratched up.
No, like the whole thing is. Oh, fuck.
Yeah?
Like, they're gonna fucking send me fucking through somewhere.
You know everything, everybody all right in there?
Yeah.
Stay calm.
Yeah, you're right.
Stay calm, kid. They told you to go through. You want to start getting clearance.
I am on the bus with the rest of the WWE roster driving by. There's 2 fire trucks, there's a cop, there's paramedics, there's quite a scene.
Fucking A. How's it going, sir? Oh, yeah, they sent me through, and I was just like, all right. Yeah.
And we're just rolling by going into the fucking MetLife Stadium, and I get a Corey Graves. Is that your RV?
Yeah, you guys hear about McAfee's guys? Drove a fucking RV into the arena? Into the arena. That road to WrestleMania, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what, that's the furthest I've ever seen any vehicle get underneath that fucking awning. Look at the ladder on the back of the RV, he's almost fucking off.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this Thursday, June 17th on SiriusXM, Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show will begin right now. I had a lot more time than I thought it did. Joining us in this second hour, in studio, a walking, talking ATM machine for us in here and the listeners of their show and their podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Hammer Dahn boys at Bubba Gumpino and at Tone Diggs. COVID Cowboy, is this the biggest heater anybody has ever seen in which you two are riding on right now?
Pat, I'll be honest, I can't remember the last time I lost a bet, so that's pretty good quality.
How does that feel? Wow. How does that feel? Legit. How does that has to feel so good because you, if we do go back into time, you've been gambling for a long time.
Long time.
What's your last name?
DeJulio.
What's your first name?
Antonio.
He's been, that is not. But Anthony has been gambling probably since he came into this world in Pittsburgh. He has absolutely loved it, obsessed over it. He's dedicated a lot of time to it. So much so, even during the COVID illness that he had to suffer through for 10 days, he just looked at lines until he almost died, and then he'd wake back up and look at lines and became the greatest gambler of all time. So much so that when he got out of COVID, when he became an immunicorn, when he became the COVID Cowboy, riding again on the other side of COVID, his gambling started to go down a little bit. So there was a decision made like, hey, you need to gamble and just focus on gambling all day. It is paying off. Diggs and Gumpy at this Hammer Dahn show at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Yes, it's spring and summer, so it's daylight. Once fall comes around, it is standard. They are live at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. You guys are a fucking ATM. How is there any end in sight? It doesn't feel like it, unless you guys are just lying, which Foxy thinks.
Foxy does think that.
Foxy thinks.
I've been tweeting out receipts now just so that he knows, hey, here it is. Right here.
There's no end. You guys feel dialed in. What is it? Are you guys just doing a bunch of drugs? What are we? What's going on in this thing? And how can others do this? Or is this just you two are in a zone right now?
Feels so good that I took, it was actually Nick's pick. But I never bet hockey. First period Canadians last night was plus 320. We'll take that one home.
2-zip, I think early they had.
Didn't watch a single minute of Clippers and Jazz last night, but I saw a tweet that fucking Bogdanovich was 6 for 6 in the first quarter. I said, that's not going to last. Give me the Clippers. They come home and win that one.
You're talking about Bogdanovich?
No, I think it was actually, they yelled at him. I think it's Bojan.
Oh, Bojan Bogdanovich.
Well, same thing.
So you're just on a heater right now, and you're recognizing it.
Well, it's actually dangerous because it made me put in like 20 golf bets today and like 17 Euro bets today. So it's dangerous. It's probably going to all come crashing down. But my quality has been good. The quantity of goodness, though.
Anything that people that are listening along right now that maybe you're liking, leaning towards earlier, or is that mostly in the Gumpy world as these Euro games are happening right now? Gumpy, what you want? You want 7-0 and then 9-0 in back-to-back days? That had to feel pretty good. And I guess you're 18-2 overall over the last few days. It's like, What are we doing here, Gumpy? Are you just seeing lines like Zach Galifianakis was seeing at the blackjack table? Is this what do you got going on right now?
Just dialed in. Focus. Montreal last night plus 380, 60-minute money line. That hit. Ukraine this morning hit. Whew. Gonna need a comeback from Belgium in the second half.
Oh, it's all right. Hey, a lot more pros and cons in this situation. You were looking forward to the Euros as if it was the Super Bowl, though. And I like the fact that you have performed in your Super Bowl because this is going to carry you probably for at least another couple of years, right until the World Cup happens.
Yeah, I needed it. If I came out of the Euro struggling a little bit, I would have taken it very hard. The soccer bets mean a little bit more to me if you know me. So to come out, start 11-3 in these Euros, couldn't ask for anything more.
You just gave a, hey, listen, this is my passion.
Yeah.
It means a lot. And also, 11-3 too. Can we have a little fucking respect here? Can we get a little bit of respect here is what you're saying. And this Belgium game you're going to lose here?
They're down 1-0 at the half. Still got De Bruyne and the boys to come on, though. We could get a couple in the second half.
So I don't know who any of these people are. Belgium's already played though, right?
Yeah, they won the first game 3-0.
What we learned about Belgium, 50% tax rate, right? That's what they have over there?
Very high.
Very high, but they always have a good soccer team. What's that all about?
Waffles.
What's that?
Beautiful country.
We got the waffles over there too.
Yeah, beer. Good brew.
Good chocolate.
Yeah.
We got the big one tomorrow, though.
Who?
The lads.
Who?
It's coming home.
England. Who are we playing?
Scotland.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, first half money line. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm betting big on the first half of the money line for England, Scotland tomorrow, which is immediately after the Foxy Flick debuts at 3 o'clock or whatever. I'm betting first half money line, 15 grand. Winning money goes to the show. And you guys, I think you're going to, what are you going to do?
Well, you said the shares will be split between the members of the show.
Yeah.
And then I said,
of course. Of course you did. I remember you did say this clearly. This was exactly what happened.
No, you said let's do a giveaway.
No, you said.
And I said one of the shares should go to someone who subscribed to the Hammer Dahn YouTube.
Diggs was immediately thinking about the HDB, the Hammer Dahn boys that watch along and call in. He said, well, they should get some too or whatever. Now, they will not have to clean the entire office, though, if Scotland wins that first half, which is a little bit of we talked about it out there while you guys were still doing the Hammer Dahn show and we were talking. So what happens is I barged in, to the Hammer Dahn show at about 4:15, 4:20. I forget what time it was. And I went in there and I said, I'd like to make a big bet on this Euros thing for the Hammer Dahn. England's playing on Friday. So we ended up working all the way up to, them getting like 10 grand if England wins the first half money line alongside the bet that I make. And then on the spot, I had to think of what's the worst thing that you could possibly have to do? And it's like, okay, clean the office. And you guys said, yeah, you're all in even before even knowing what the bet was. We talked off air about that. That might be one of the biggest regrettable decisions that you guys have made in some time.
By far. I used to scrub around toilets at the shipyard, Pat. I ain't worried about a little paint thinner.
Okay, all right. I respect that. Diggs, let's talk to you then.
I am someone who has extreme OCD, so out there does bother me quite a bit, but I'm also lazy, so I never do anything about it. So this is a good opportunity
to potentially
do something.
Oh, yeah, I'm forced to do it. Like you can tell yourself that you were forced to do it.
Frame it.
Yeah, but you frame it in your mind like, I'm doing it because I'm forced to do it, but it makes everybody better. Good luck tomorrow, boys. Thank you guys so much. We tried to call Fred Taylor a couple times. I was excited for that conversation. He did not answer. I wonder if I have to be, hey, we are going to FaceTime you.
Maybe he's on EST.
Oh shit. Is Jacksonville in that weird part of Florida?
Hey, boss. Can we FaceTime you?
He's in the bathroom.
That's happened before.
He's working on his game.
That has happened. Let's talk about some things that have happened, shall we, before we get to Fred Taylor? And thank you to the Hammer Dahn boys. I mean, we were waiting to see if Fred Taylor would answer there. So we're kind of doing that whole thing just to see until that. But what I learned was we got the hottest two gamblers on planet Earth.
Let's go, boys.
In the studio right now. 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, youtube.com/Hammer Dahn, except for tomorrow. It'll be live for a watch along during that England-Scotland game in which they could potentially win $10,000 or have to clean the entire office. Proud of you boys. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Congratulations to EA Sports. It's in the game. It's in the game. They released the Madden 2020 No, 22. Madden 22.
Yeah.
The Madden 22 cover. And we kind of knew what it was, I guess, because the internet had figured that out because they were at a private high school down in Tampa Bay and somebody took a picture through a building, through a tree, and Tom and Patrick Mahomes are sitting next to each other. But the Madden game releasing this, and Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, and Patrick Mahomes, the future GOAT, is out there basically painting this whole thing. Them still agreeing to do Madden means Madden's still carrying a bunch of clout.
Absolutely.
They're still paying a bunch of money, I assume. I hope. I don't know how much money they made. I hope it was a lot. Full photo shoot down there. A lot of them looking down, by the way. Is that a metaphor for them at the top of the mountain? A lot of looking down photos. You know, there's a lot of people on the internet who hate a lot about Madden and a lot about what EA Sports has become, where they have kind of gotten comfortable, haven't they?
They're lazy,
And
if you will.
It feels like you're just putting new lipstick on the pig every single year. Madden 18 is Madden 19
Same.
is Madden 20
Same.
is Madden 21 and here's Madden 22. The only thing changing is the cover, is what a lot of people say.
Bullshit.
And I can understand and respect that because I think when Madden came into existence, it was every NFL fan's thing. Madden had captivated and literally taken over the entire world for a long time because John Madden, a legendary figure, a man who changed football, the way it's covered and everything like that. Ty, when John Madden would call a touchdown, he would say,
well, you know, he'd say, boom! You know, hey, folks, I did John Madden. He'd do that kind of stuff, you know. Boom! This guy over here, yeah, and then boom! Yeah, he did a lot of that.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
Joe.
That was why I wanted to come to this today. The Madden 22 release is huge, but Madden is obviously something that has let down a lot of people, and I think the reason why it has let down a lot of people, and we've heard that, is because of how many people absolutely loved it for a long, long time. And then as expectations continued to grow for Madden and the next year's version and the game and the different genres and different backyard football that exists and these other things, and it never got better. I think people got disappointed by it, but I hope one day, I hope EA Sports comes out and says, listen, we've been coding. You ever watch The Social Network? We got people dialed in there. We're coming out. Maybe that's what Madden 22 is. Maybe this is the one.
We'll see.
But by the way, that's the sell every single year, right? And that's
Without
why they
a doubt.
continue to get the money from everybody. That's why Madden will always be massive. Probably never have to be forced into changing because the amount of money that it will make every single year, because it is Madden and it is a legendary game, is the reason why they potentially won't change anything. Is that the whole thing?
Yeah, exactly. Mitt's been complaining about last year's version. Boom, they dropped the trailer today. He quote tweets it like, oh, now we go.
Can't wait.
They got so many dupes like that it doesn't matter. You know, it's just like, hey, here, take my money again. I know it's the same game, but this guy's on this roster.
Hey, to be fair, though, they love the NFL. They love video games.
Without question.
They love everything
I
so
used to
much.
be that guy.
But you decided,
I said,
I'm going to let go of this thing that lets me down.
Exactly. I said, I can't do it anymore.
There seems to be an anchor once a year, and it's my excitement level being ruined by a company that I've never met any of the humans that are doing anything for it, not upgrading it to what I would have hoped at this point with the amount of money that I have invested into this franchise. I'm going to cut bait with that so I don't get disappointed anymore. If they were to move to another, I don't know how long EA Sports, I think it's another couple years. I would assume they have a pretty long-term contract. But if they were to go somewhere else, would you give it a shot again, or is it just you've grown out of the Madden level of life?
I don't know. I mean, I think the price point, like if they drop the price on it, like $20, I don't think anyone would have a reason to bitch. It's like, then now you know what you're paying for. It's like, yeah, I am paying for the new rosters and everything, but it's just getting more expensive every year. And then, you know, it really does feel like, you know, you get to a certain point, it's like, I've played this game a million times. I've done the same song and dance. I can't do it anymore.
And Connor, you're a good Madden player. Not as good as the one guy we brought in to play you randomly, and he won $10,000. Yeah, he was like,
he knew what he was getting into. Kid was unbelievable. But I got faith in Madden this year. I think they're going to do it. Charles Davis has been on this show 15 times. I've asked him the same goddamn question 15 times in a row. Hey, when are we going to figure this Madden stuff out? And he said, hey, they're doing everything
they're working
they can.
on it.
They're changing the game. They're going to make it better. And I think, you know, all in all, get to play with Trevor Lawrence finally in a video game. Now we go.
That's a good point.
You've been waiting for that.
Yeah. By the way, that is the only upside, right, to there not being an NCAA AA 2K or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
I was in that game.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They made me a rounder, you know, and then I was in Madden. What's so funny, Jay? I didn't play those games, okay? So who was relaying the information to me on how I looked and acted in these games?
Probably me, yeah.
Yeah,
Come
absolutely.
on, Jay.
Come on, Jay.
It's just because they disrepresented you so poorly.
Bingo. That's what Jay would say. Jay say, I'm tired. I'm sorry. I had to get rid of you. You were so bad.
So round.
You can't throw. You can't run. You can't do anything. So I actually, and this is a story I think that the person who still works at Madden has told now, they came in. And they're like, hey, how's it going? We got this thing for you. I'm like, hey, I don't need shit from you. You hear me? Do you guys know how far I can throw a ball? Do you know how fast I am? Who gave you the research to have me as a 4 on speed or something like that? Who told you how far I could throw? I could huck a ball probably third farthest on this team. What is everybody else? Am I the third highest on this team? Fourth highest? Am I in the top 5 at least for that whole thing? Where do you guys get these numbers? And they're like, oh, we try to do as much film as possible. It's like, oh, okay. Okay, so since they won't let me throw, they're holding me back. You guys got to make me look bad to my family?
Come on.
My friends? My friends would like to play with me maybe booting balls on fourth, maybe even a quarterback.
Yeah.
But you got me so goddamn slow, they can't even like act to have fun doing it. And they're like, sorry, we'll get to work on it. We're sorry. They were very nice. To their credit.
So
a couple years later, by the way, highest in the game.
You got boosted.
Yeah, highest in the game.
Was that when they had Madden people at every practice, or was that after you retired?
I have never seen the Madden people.
They have like Madden people who grade everything in their overall rating at almost.
Who told you that? Did I didn't.
No, I've seen it. No, like there are photos of it of people at training camp for Madden.
It's not adjudicator. It's called something.
Yeah,
similar.
Strictly to judge what they should be ranked in Madden.
Is there self-awareness on there or anything like that? Is there anything?
There's awareness. There's not self-awareness.
I don't know.
Well, obviously for some people, but the maybe they just didn't have to talk to me. You know what I mean? Maybe they were at a camp. They weren't at every practice. I know that they weren't at every single practice, but maybe they were at a practice. I didn't see them. They didn't talk to me, which furthers my point. I mean, if you don't get to know me, how are you going to know? The only interaction we had is me telling you, hey, you're making me look terrible in front of my whole family. All right, I'm pretty athletic actually. And then we move on, we move forward, and the whole thing.
There it is. Ratings performance adjuster.
That's at a game though.
Yeah.
I'll find the practice clips.
No,
that's not even the one I
practice.
That's not the one I'm thinking of either. It's like 2 dudes walking around with clipboards.
It's got to be the Cowboys, right? Jerry Jones like, hey, shit, yeah, come on in. Do you need cameras? What do you want us to put the little lasers on them too, so you can get the full thing? Yeah. How much you paying us for that whole thing? I like the Madden game though.
Yeah.
I like the community that it has. That's what I don't like the Madden game. I haven't played in years. It would be very disrespectful of me to say anything about it. The reason why I don't play video games is actually because of a Madden game and Jason McAfee. Yeah. I was about to beat him for the first time in my entire life. Jay, very good gamer. Obviously not so much. I was about to beat him. I was up, what was it, Jay? 4th down, you called a timeout. I'm up 4. And I think there was like 6 seconds left in the game, 7 seconds left in the game. Had to punt the ball to him.
Yeah, you punted it to him, and it was a return, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he runs from his 10-yard line, punt return, to the end zone. Doesn't want to beat me, because it's the first time I'm ever going to beat him in anything, and maybe I'll be invested in video games alongside him instead of just, hitting. Turns around, runs back to the other end zone. Turns around. Runs back to the other end, scores, and says, I am so sorry. And all his friends that were there like,
on you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm never playing this game again, is what I said. And I threw the controller and I left. And I stuck with that for a long, long, long time. Never even touched a controller.
And you're welcome, because you're here probably now because of it.
Thank you. Yeah. That is very true. That was when I was like 10 years old, maybe. I was like 9 or 10 years old. I was like, fuck that, I ain't never doing it. I'm a bit stubborn too, so once I said I ain't never doing it in front of a large group of people, like, all right,
I can't ever
I'm
do
literally
that
never doing it.
Where's my soccer ball?
They'll start playing, like, I think Halo had a hell of a run amongst your friend group there for a while.
Halo
and there was some other Madden, obviously FIFA was a big run. Ooh. They looked like they were having so much fun. I'm like, nope, I ain't fucking doing it.
Can't do it.
Fuck these guys. So you're right, appreciate you, Jay, but that was a tough night. That was at like 2, 3 a.m., by the way, that happened.
I think that was at Matt's house, actually.
Yeah, it was. It was a nightmare.
Anytime someone's running end zone to end zone, they're just being a prick. So I can't believe.
Yeah, he could have ran out of bounds, couldn't he?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
If he really wanted you to win, he could have just.
So fuck that Madden game. Now that I think about it, it led to me getting bullied by my brother and my friends.
Yeah, it's horseshit.
I'm on everybody's side that said it's not fun, it's not cool, it's not good.
Until now.
There he is.
Yeah, see, this dude's at the Jags rating everybody a 50.
Why is it always the same angle of his pictures? They're just like somebody that follows them around.
Is this personally? They maybe want to be anonymous, by the way, because what Connor just said about a lot of, I don't know, what, 6'4", 300-pound dudes right there?
Who the hell rated me a 52?
Yeah. Just like my thought whenever I was like, you gave me a 7 speed or something. I forget what it was. I did have some questions, though. I'm like,
you should.
Listen, I'm not as good of a punter as some people in this league. I understand that, but I mean, I can run. I can fucking run a little bit. And I can throw a little bit here.
Boost my throw power.
And you guys say you're being real. Like, be real. Let's be real then. All right. Shout out to Madden, dude.
The real problem is the MVP edition, because I thought they were pushing the whole GOAT thing.
Well, that's Zito made an incredible version that I think he submitted to. When did you submit this to Madden? Yesterday before they announced
right before.
You're like, hey, last submission if you want it, because the rumor was that Aaron Rodgers was going to be on the cover, and the reason why it was so delayed and yada, yada, yada is because nobody knows what's going to happen with Aaron. Is he going to be in a Green Bay Packers Madden uniform? Or is he going to be in a Denver Broncos Madden uniform?
Wearing the shield.
Or is he potentially Jeopardy hosting on Madden? Like, who knows what they're going to do? Allegedly, the internet was saying that's why it was being delayed. So then they come out with this MVP edition, and it's like, maybe he was supposed to be a part of this thing. Zito made it happen. Appreciate you, Zito, so much. Zito, good pop from Zito. Good pop from Zito there. By the way, always looking down in these photos.
Yeah.
Every photo they're looking down. It's because they're at the top of the mountain.
That's right. They've already climbed.
Do you think that's maybe Madden people, too, looking down at everybody that's hating on them?
Oh, probably.
Double entendre.
Like, hey, listen.
You're still going to buy it.
Scour and Don. You know, when you have a camera looking down on you, you could potentially look a little weaker. You know what I mean? Depending upon. Now, there's always a good angle. There's a good angle you can get, but there's a difference between looking down upon good angle and then when you're looking down on somebody, down your nose. You know, it's just, these are all just games that are being played at all times that nobody even really knows about.
That's exactly right.
I had a teammate, bad game, I think. I don't know. Yeah, I think I had a bad game. Sitting down in his locker doing the interview, and every camera was shooting straight down at him, basically. Okay, and he was answering questions like this, like he was getting scolded the entire time. And I was like, hey, man, I know you're miserable or whatever, but can't have 13 cameras staring down at you like that. You look like you're just in the bottom of a pit of hell, dude. You have to stand just a little bit. He was like, well, I didn't know they were going to come. They kind of came over quick. I'm like, they did you dirty there. That's gonna, because they're, I mean, just the view of you looking up. It's just, it's all these, you know, bullshit type situations. Yeah, just like you never give away the neck if you're a model taking a photo.
Oh, how terrible were those locker room like press conferences after losses? Did they last like 2 minutes or?
Yeah, so for me, it was never a problem. They didn't talk to me after wins or losses. You know what I mean? So I never got asked any questions. Vinatieri got talked to a couple times. His locker was right next to mine. Overton was right next to mine in the game locker room. We were together or whatever. He never really got asked much. But if you were in one of those lockers that was right next to somebody who got like a lot of media, I would assume that was not
nightmare.
Fun. Especially after losses where maybe you're not being asked questions, but you also can't really sit in your locker or go to your locker because your friend is now being asked questions about how terrible it is too, and you got to relive it. And then some of the questions, the way some questions are worded, I think there is some, I don't know, this is just me either listening on the internet or overhearing some people are asking questions trying to potentially piss people off. And there's players that are like, I can't even get to my locker. You're a fucking asshole. We just got killed out there. Like, there is those situations, I assume. But after wins, listening and to somebody cut a promo or whatever, you know, and like, hey, big thanks to this, and this, and I did this. And then those types of moments, those are awesome. Because it's all, you know, so is anybody going to say in there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Was anybody maybe cut a promo that's pretty good, which is awesome, but I just it's the whole process of the media coming into the locker room immediately after a game is fascinating in of itself.
Well, and they're not letting them do that this year, right? They didn't do it last year. I don't think they're letting them do that again this year.
And I know I have a lot of respect for the media. Okay, Shaq last night, I think, said something about players being obligated and having to talk to the media or whatever. And you heard Ernie kind of go at him a little bit because Ernie was the media, and Ernie doesn't normally do that. And it was quite a moment, and the internet has loved this moment. And Shaq was talking from a player who had to speak after every single practice, every single game he ever had. Those game moments after the game where you get like 5 minutes, the coach gets like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever the rule is, and then guys just get bombarded with like cameras or whatever. I don't necessarily love it. I don't think it was set up for the best intentions. I think it was set up to potentially get heat of the moment stuff.
Reactions.
And that's coming from a player. Now, from a media member, you want, hey, I want to know how you feel right now to tell this story for like, this is how the team feels immediately afterwards, as opposed to like 30 minutes where maybe they can gather their thoughts, move along. So it's like quite a give and take there. But I always found it very interesting whenever they would just come sprinting in. Other teams, people would come in from the other city too to ask about players on that team, people you never met before, while you're like almost getting dressed or naked or whatever. You're like, whoa, all right, here we go. Never met you before. And then he comes over, what was it like giving up a punt return touchdown to okay, all right. It was terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Can I put my fucking pants on? Like, that would be the only time, like, guys, like, I think that is when it's bad, but you got to figure it out. There's a full part of training camp where you listen to your PR person, and an NFL put together basically like a why the media is important package. And like the relationship and what's needed. And then that was where we were taught what to say, what sounds good, what doesn't. They brought in the focus group where when Pete Carroll's speaking, this is good. And then the red. Yeah, so it's all one big ordeal, but it's fucking wild how it all works.
Is that the difference between like home and away at post game? Like the away team, when you are away, like if you say you're playing in New England, those beat reporters and shit are running into your locker room?
For me, the biggest difference was what type of toilet paper is place going to have? Okay? And how much room am I going to have? Because Vinatieri holds a lot of weight, obviously, whenever he's in there.
Yeah.
And we're going to be by wherever Vinatieri fits in. And there's a lot of people, though. Some of these locker rooms at some of these places, though, are very small. We're talking tiny little places, or guys are sharing lockers and everything like that. When I got to the point where I wasn't, like, sharing a locker with somebody, I was like, I made it. I fucking
did it.
But then you get to a locker room that only has like 40 lockers, and it's like, am I sharing one with Vinatieri right now? Oh,
yeah.
Oh wait, was that a? I don't know. Is this? I should just get the fuck out of the way here. Yeah. So it's like that is what I look at. The media thing, I never got talked to, so I didn't pay attention enough. But I did look around and see people that in every city was like, oh, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. There's so much after game tradition though. Like back in the day, Shane Leckler and Colquitt used to get us beer. That would be sent over to us, via however it could get to us. There's like so many like cool things. You see a lot of behind the scenes meetings that happen between players or even coaches that come from town or go into where the other person's locker is to say hello. I mean, it's very interesting, the pregame, postgame charade almost that happens.
That mic'd up a Favre on the sideline when he was waving down the guy from the Lions or whatever when he was with the Vikings trying to get a hamburger.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Last time we were here, he gave me a great burger.
yeah. Waving at him, like doing the motions. It was awesome.
And by the way, Brett Favre, what a guy.
What a guy.
Legend.
Didn't know what a nickel defense was.
He's a gunslinger.
Hey, he wants that burger?
Yeah.
How about whenever he comes, there's a guy we just learned about, Lombardo. Okay, not Lombardi, Lombardo. But like when Brett speaks about the Aaron situation, holds a lot of weight, right?
Yeah.
Brett came out and said that Aaron texted him and said, like, yeah, I'll talk to you after this is all over or whatever. I think Brett came out and said that because everything Brett was saying about everything for a couple months was going viral. Brett Favre's take on insert topical thing here was trending every day for like 2-3 months.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Brett Favre said something. It was about Copperfit? No, this time it was about America.
It's talking about Syria.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not about Wranglers?
Rodgers to the Saints, maybe? He was pulling that narrative for a little.
So he was saying that I just lost. Oh, God damn it.
Battery's dead.
Anyways, but when Brett says something, he's been there. He's gone through the Green Bay Packers, like, hey, forcing you out, drafting somebody else. Although very different situation. Aaron fell to the Packers then as opposed to trading up. Whenever he says something, about the situation. Everybody's like, oh, okay. Jay Glazer yesterday says he absolutely still wants out or whatever. I know that. We had to put it on the ticker.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it had to put it on the ticker because he said it and it's a big story or whatever, and it's Jay Glazer. But then you hear some people say, like, they'll be able to work it out, like James Jones and AJ Hawk said that, and former teammates. I think Kuhn said that as well. He's still in Green Bay. So you don't really know what is going to happen in this whole thing. It seems like there's more information rolling out every single day, and anybody who could potentially have an opinion is going to have one. And by the way, we respect it because we got to cover this shit every single day. So somebody's new opinion every day is good. Lombardo from the Fan-Sided app.
Blog, I think,
The Fan-Sided blog. He did an interview, and he said that a former GM he spoke to, anonymous GM, which are always good. A former NFL GM said, Aaron's selfish. Teammates don't like him. Coaches don't like him. It's all about Aaron. Whoa. Then Lombardo, at Matt Lombardo NFL tweets, there's no precedent for an MVP being traded next year. Might Packers do it with Aaron Rodgers? This week's Fan-Sided national column. Okay, so maybe Lombardo spoke to a GM. He's saying he is and said Aaron's selfish. Players hate him. Coaches hate him. Everything like that. We've heard the very, very different story. So what GM do you think that is? Is that Gutekunst? Is that the GM?
Whoa.
Or is this a retired GM who was around 15, 20 years ago who heard the narrative about Aaron from a couple people way back in the day before Aaron decided to ever speak about anything and said he'll just kill him with indifference by not answering anybody's stories about him? Is that what that is, or is that somebody for real? And there's a lot of reports coming out from Maz and this guy, and it's like this could blow up in any direction, and I have no idea what's going to happen with it.
Could Aaron just put an end to all this and come out and maybe tell his side?
Probably, but
yeah, he could.
Hey, Aaron Rodgers, kill him with indifference.
Yeah,
that's
right.
like literally
That's his style.
That's his style. If I come out and answer everything, I think I don't know if he told us this directly or this was just our takeaway. He basically said, I'll kill him with indifference. If I came out and answered everything, then my entire life, he said, would be answering people just making up false things about him, which, by the way, I respect. I would have never been able to do that. If I heard some of the things that were being said that were trying to, paint an image about me that I knew wasn't correct, and a lot of my close friends knew wasn't correct and everything like that, I think I would not have the discipline to not say anything and see the bigger picture like he potentially does and not want to get into the drama of it. But that was kind of his thing. And with this whole situation blowing up, I don't know if Aaron or Green Bay ever expected it to blow up. So I don't know if Aaron or Green Bay have any idea how this is going to go. And I wonder if they don't even care about the public's opinion right now because they don't know what's going to happen, either side, except for Mark Murphy, who, he's a complicated fellow.
Yeah. Well, and I think at this point, like anytime I'll see something new, you just have to take it with a grain of salt because if you now's a good time.
The Glazer yesterday, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
hey, I was getting attacked yesterday for what Glazer said.
What?
On this show.
Right.
Why?
Glazer was getting attacked. I was getting attacked.
But why would you?
I don't know. So I was like, James Jones said it on NFL Network, said it on The Herd, said it on my show as well. And AJ said it on my show as well. The other side of this whole thing, Jay Glazer's just telling you, are they going to say something like he's a complicated fellow and then say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. I want to be back, which I think was a pretty common sense take on the entire thing. Yeah. But he also knows more people, you would think. So who knows what he's hearing? Who knows that whole thing? But Packers fans are not happy with him saying that, especially after James Jones and AJ Hawk said it is mendable and everything like that. This is a wild scenario. It's big. This is a big scenario.
I think the main difference with what Glazer said was it's not fixed. Like James Jones, AJ, John Kuhn, all those guys said it's fixable, but it's not fixed yet. So until it is fixed, Aaron may still want out.
Okay, let's get to a break.
Yeah, I agree. I think both things can be true. He could want out right now and things could still be fixable.
Well, that's why I was so confused about everybody's take on Glazer. Because they were talking about how James Jones and AJ Hawk and Kuhn said it's fixable, it's fixable, it's fixable. And then Jay Glazer, the big take is he still wants out or whatever. It's like, well, if they're saying it's fixable, it means what? It's not fixed yet. So if he's saying he still wants out, like, well, until it's fixed, right, they're probably both going to still be in their corners.
Yeah.
But people didn't want to hear, hey, bury Jay Glazer. And I took some ricochet shots as well.
That's ridiculous.
I had a rough day when hearing it.
Don't forget, #Jay knew.
Yeah.
Okay?
He did.
Yeah.
He told us about this whole thing like 5 hours before it broke on Shefty. We had to sit there. Do you remember the whole show?
It was miserable.
Insane.
It was miserable.
We had to sit on that the whole show.
Talking about the draft.
Well, then we also had to, because at that point, #Jay knew.
Oh, yeah.
But, I think Jay called us and told us that just to flex, by the way, immediately afterwards. Yeah. Hey, you remember that little game you guys played last night? No, you didn't. Yeah, you did that whole thing. Yeah, how about this? 5 hours from now, something's going to break.
Yes, I do.
And then and then basically just hanging up. Yeah. By the way, just hanging up, and then going good luck out there. And then all of a sudden, Schefter's Aaron Rodgers wants out of the Green Bay. He has told teammates more on this and this and this. We just settle. It's been quite a story here as this thing has evolved, and nobody knows how it'll end. But if you're a Green Bay Packers fan, hey. Go, love, go. Go, love, go. Go, love, go. Go, love, go. For now. Until it gets fixed, which everybody's saying is possible. We're back in 4 minutes with Fred Taylor. Let's go. Come on. Can't wait to chat with Fred. And your phone call is 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll see you then.
Good afternoon. The definition of a conspiracy is a secret plan to cause something unlawful or harmful to a person or group of people. And that is exactly what we have with David Bakhtiari's interview, cutting out at quite an inconvenient time.
How many months out are you from surgery? For some reason, we don't get to hear as much about your rehab because there's a couple other things happening in the Green Bay area.
Is there still nothing to talk about?
Happening in the Green Bay area.
Is there still nothing to talk about?
Happening in the Green Bay area.
Is there still nothing to talk about on that front?
What was that?
But thank you very much for asking, AJ.
People are saying that we are responsible for the video cutting out. However, that could not be further from the truth. To find out more, we talked to the gatekeeper of the YouTube, Baldy Tubes.
Oh, the connection dropped out. We don't know if it was us or YouTube, but the full clip was on Twitter and all that.
Riveting, Bill. Clearly, we are not at fault for this video cutting out, and let's see the full clip now.
Your ACL doing? How many months out are you from surgery? For some reason, we don't get to hear as much about your rehab because there's a couple other things happening in the Green Bay area.
Yeah, typical fashion, Aaron taking all the media, so no one gets any attention. The Green Bay Rodgers, so, other guys, that hardworking people that are recovering from, big injuries. There's still nothing to talk about on that front. But thank you very much for asking, AJ. It's going.
Pretty big breaking news.
Oh,
no.
What's that?
Oh, he got got. Oh, he got got. He got got. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Tony. Gordon Chester.
We got to get to a goddamn break. Can't happen. Can't win with it. Everything I just said was wrong.
It would have been cool though if it was right.
It would have been cool, wouldn't it?
Diggs just got a darn Schefter.
Oh my God. It was at Ultra Weed Hater.
He got a cockener.
What was it doing on my timeline?
Bro, McCockner's just jujuing on me.
giving the old white guys something to complain about. It's the Pat McAfee Show.
Welcome back to the show. Joining us now is a man who we have all been a fan of from afar, but first time ever getting to speak to a Florida Gator, a Jacksonville Jaguar legend. Ladies and gentlemen, 13 years in the NFL running back and one of the hosts of the I Am Athlete podcast, Fred Taylor.
Yeah! What's up, fellas? What's good, man? Hey, can you do me a favor, please?
Yeah.
Take that fucking ball down, man. Come on. I got enough of that. You guys, you kicked my ass. You won all the division championships. Come on, bro.
Right. So, what year was your best year there? You think in Jacksonville? What year was your best year there? You think if you had to put a year on?
Probably maybe 2003. I think I had 1399, but I missed 4 or 5 games or something crazy.
Vinatieri had 112 points.
Yeah, he's the man.
No, I'm joking. You were also the man, Fred. We've got a chance to, watching you through high school and then in college, you just had this size and speed that was just unbelievable. A power would pop off for like 40, 50 yards or whatever, and we just got a chance to watch the highlights back again. We looked this up. There's a top 10, right, for most career 100-yard rushing games, and you're in the top 10. 8 of the other people on this list are in the Hall of Fame. Hey, Fred Taylor's ass needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Stat, Fred. Let's
get it
go.
done.
Let's get that thing done, dude. You deserve it.
Man. I know. It seems that it's, a lot of people have been rooting for me and hoping that I get in there someday. I don't think they'll deny me for a whole lot longer, but it's doing its due diligence right now, right? I just got to be patient. I got to be political, and they throw the Pro Bowl stuff out there and all. I think the Pro Bowl's a joke. Obviously, it's what it is, man. It's the popularity contest, and the guys get voted in. But I much rather, I think for me, the respect of my peers, the guys that I play against, the Ray Lewis's, the Derrick Brooks, the Warren Sapps, the Ed Reeds, Troy Polamalu's, those guys that are Hall of Famers. When they say Fred T gave me hell, that means a lot more to me.
Yeah, and by the way, the first thing you said there was your peers, your teammates, and I think that is why that I Am Athlete podcast is so good. It's like guys in there that are all respected in the locker room amongst their peers, coaches, getting a chance to, talk about everything. You guys are fucking crushing it, Fred. I want to let you know we are all big fans up here of that podcast.
Appreciate it. Same, man. It's all love. It's all love. I love when you have guys have DB on there. That's my little bro. But our podcast, man, we just, it's quarantine dreams. We were at home doing nothing. Brandon stopped by and said, hey, man, what about a podcast? You want to do a podcast? I said, I'm not doing anything else. Let's do it. And it was just sitting around and, just getting creative. And it's so unscripted and raw and organic. Sometimes we don't have anything. We just go.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And we make magic. And those guys are great.
Were you doing media? Is this your first time dabbling in media? Because you said you got to do the politics game. That feel like that is the politics game, is to do a little bit of media. Have you done that? And if not, I'm very thankful that Brandon Marshall showed up at your house because you're awesome in there.
I appreciate you. You know what? I do some stuff for Jacksonville. I've been doing it since I retired. Game day live in stadium. I did some preseason analyst stuff for a couple preseason games. I do post-game radio down in Jacksonville, Jaguars radio. Aside from that, the politics part, I've heard a lot of guys that eventually got in the Hall of Fame, the Terrell Davises of the world. You talk about the Jason Taylors, these guys that have had some stints in TV. Unfortunately, they got in there and they rubbed elbows with, I guess, the right people, and eventually they got those calls. But I don't know, man. I don't think a lot of those selectors had a huge opportunity to get to see me in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think so too. And by the way, let's talk about Jacksonville as a whole. Expansion team, obviously. Right. You had every record there for a long time. I don't know if you still do, by the way. I should look into that more. Your highlights, like 28 minutes long, I think we just watched, and I assume they even missed out on some things that we just watched there. But it feels like Jacksonville is getting a little bit of a burst right now with the Khan family investing, building up more building, Urban Meyer coming in there. You got Trevor Lawrence. Have you gotten a chance to get back and chat? What are your thoughts on the Jaguars as a whole right now?
You know what? Just going back to the whole expansion team, I got there after they were 2 years old. So, they were winning early. They hit it early, a lot of playoff runs, and, the fans were behind us. And I think that our popularity came from the fact that we were winning. We were still boxed in Southeast Florida, which were basically where the college football thrives, the Gators and the Seminoles and the Bulldogs, tucked away in that neck of the woods. And then we started losing for a while, and people sort of forget that there's even a team in North Florida because you still got the more popular teams in Tampa and Miami. But now, I think that with the Khan family doing what they're doing, they've invested a lot in Jacksonville. They went and invested money in bringing in one of the most successful coaches in college football, in Urban Meyer, and he's excited. I've spoken with Coach Meyer, and he really wants to, create a culture.
Hey, you like him? You like him? You like him?
I do.
You like him?
I like Urban. I mean, there's no reason for me not to like him. He's never, we've never crossed each other. We met each other for the first time about a month ago.
Yeah, but he felt real. Hey, he felt real. I think that's why I like the I Am Athlete podcast so much, because I feel like you guys have a good read on people. Right. And I think if you're in a locker room, you get a chance to kind of develop a little bit of a sense in that whole thing, especially when it comes to coaches. Coaches, you can, as soon as you talk to a coach, Urban, everybody's like, he's a college guy, he's a college guy, he's a college guy. It feels like he's going to be able to carry in, though. It doesn't seem like he's
he's a guy, he says he wants to put in the time. He wants to motivate these guys, and like I said, he wants to create a culture, but he wants the guys to understand, look, the more success we have, the bigger checks all of us are able to cash in. And I think that's one thing where the guys like, okay, shit, I'm with that.
Yeah, he's keeping it real.
Yeah. So when I met him, man, it was a good feel. Obviously, he's a former Gator head coach, so he's Gator biased, a bit. So the door is open for me. It's always been open, obviously, but I want to get there and lean into them and do whatever I can to help that culture and figure out a way to win. I'm still a Jaguar. I'm a Jaguar forever.
Well, when people
want them to win.
When people think of Jaguar, you're one of the names they think of, though. You know what I mean?
Right. So the more successful they are, the bigger my name.
Hey.
the crazy thing is, the worse they do, the bigger my name. One of those crazy things.
Yeah, we're talking to Fred Taylor, running back for Jacksonville Jaguars for a long time, 13 years. Top 10 in a lot of categories when it comes to running backs. Everybody that he is normally classified next to is in the Hall of Fame. Excited for Fred to get in someday. Talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars and the come up over there. The thought of when we win, there's enough to go around for everybody is such a good motto and such a good motivator. Because listen, whenever you win, if you're somebody, now there's not as many of these as you grow older in the game, but hey, I love the game. I just want the opportunity. It's like, okay, when we win, there's enough for you guys. The people that are just in for business purposes, it's like, hey, we win, there's enough for you guys. It's the perfect way. I'm happy that Urban Meyer's doing that. And that's because he's been paying players since, Yeah. It's all right. Hey, go Gators. Go Gators.
Hey, that was dope. That was a nice segue.
Hey, you want some McDonald's, dude? That's Tennessee. That was not Florida. Go ahead, Connor.
That's Ocho versus Science right there, dude, with the Mickey D's.
Hey, what were your thoughts on that whole thing? What a performance. He represented, I think, for us in a great way as NFL folks.
You know what, man? Chad has some boxing background, and I was just excited to see him get in there and actually, the other guy is an MMA bare knuckle fighter. And for Chad to be able to get in there, never really took a real hit, and to be able to stand up in there, he got a little overconfident, and he swung at the guy. The guy sized up and got a nice shot on him and put him on the canvas, but he hopped up. So I think NFL is 1-0 to the NBA because Nate Robinson was ass up.
And what was Channing saying? Booty up?
Yeah.
Your booty in the air.
Booty in the
like
air.
Nate Robinson.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
unfortunate. But Chad
That's
did well,
unfortunate.
man. I think Ocho did well.
Hey, Channing on that couch whenever he was talking about the booty. I mean, that was you guys are. I mean, a legitimate, incredible show down there. I hope you guys
Appreciate
continue
you.
that for a
Thank
long
you,
time.
Pat.
Go ahead,
Appreciate
Connor.
Yeah, Fred, a lot of great young running backs down in Jacksonville. Have you been, talking to Robinson and Etienne about, what they can do and how to develop their game?
Well, I hadn't talked to Robinson a whole lot. I met Etienne here just recently during the combine, just before he did his pro day, and good size on him. A kid that they can move around and get creative with. Coach Meyer, he wants the ability to, utilize all of his skill guys in different formation sets and try and create some disadvantages from the defense. So I haven't really just gotten in there and gave him a lot of my cheats and my game day nuggets. But again, I plan on getting back in there this year without COVID protocols, hopefully, and then I'll be able to, get a little closer to him and talk a little bit to him without interfering with what the coaches are doing. But just like, look, when you're out there, you're the CEO. You're not gonna fire yourself ever. So you got to get out there and just fucking not be a robot and just play. So that's really usually my only message to those guys. Protect the quarterback and do what the hell your eyes take you, and you'll probably be more successful that way.
Well, okay, so let's talk about having success. So for me, I got a chance, obviously, to watch Vinatieri do his thing, but also Peyton's in the building. And even though we're a very, very, very different position, like watching what he did, right? I was like watching what he did. I'm like, okay, that makes me better. What he did and what Vinatieri did, all the OGs did, kind of made everybody better in their own ways if you just watch. And they always say, like, hey, get in the back pocket of somebody who's been around a long time and follow exactly what they do. Was there anybody for you, whether it's being an older running back from where you're from, or was anybody on the team, or who was somebody that kind of helped you kind of get along in the NFL?
When I first got in, man, this is crazy. I'm an offensive guy, but I always hung out with the defensive players. They were the knuckleheads. Yeah. They did a lot more than the offensive linemen and the tight ends and the other running backs. Tony Brackens was my guy.
Okay.
T. Brack was a defensive end out of Texas, and he would always get in there and say, okay, today, let it come to you. This is what we're going to do, first or second snap. And then sometimes I didn't always listen to him, but he actually taught me how to prepare during the week, and I'm forever grateful for T. Brack, man. He definitely looked out for me.
That's awesome. Go ahead, Ty.
Fred, everyone's got an opinion on Tim Tebow. With you being in Jacksonville down there, like, did you know about his legend? Like, I mean, I guess you're playing in the NFL, so maybe you're not privy to that or anything. But like, things have kind of dropped off since they were really crazy around him. Are you hearing anything? And do you think he has a realistic shot of making the team?
I'm not sure what year it was, but I remember hearing of Tim Tebow and saw some highlights. And I remember down in the area, they were calling him the white Michael Vick because he was left-handed, and he would, in high school, he just do all sorts of amazing stuff. And then he got to college and kept doing the same exact stuff. But Tim is he's a great guy, first and foremost. He's an awesome human being. And he's a competitor. He has heart, and he's passionate about, anything that he does, from what he does with his foundation, what he's tried to do in the NFL, in spite, people saying, well, he's not a prototypical quarterback. But I think his win-loss record is better than a lot of these guys that were drafted that are really considered busts at the position. Whether he's going to make the team or not here in Jacksonville, I'm not sure. I kind of myself said he might be, practice squad at best, and give him an opportunity. He's been out some time. In the NFL, one thing that a lot of people don't understand, Tim is great. Even if Tim has an opportunity to make the team from his natural ability, the NFL is a business. If they have a young guy that's right there with Tim, the NFL is a young man's game. I believe the team will invest in a younger player and maybe, like I said, put Tim over there on the practice squad, his influence is still in the building.
Yes.
Even though he's on the practice squad, you know, it gives them what they need in a leader, you know, a motivator. So I think it probably can work out something like that.
Fred, I can't thank you enough for joining us. Hope we get a chance to chat with you again. Yeah, you're the best. Literally anytime. I'm going to hold you to it, yeah.
For sure, anytime.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right, Fred Taylor. Fred Taylor. Yeah! Thank you, Fred. Appreciate you, man. What a legend.
Love, guys. Y'all be good.
Hey, you too. Go look up his highlights, by the way, if you don't know who that is.
Unreal.
Host of the I Am Athlete podcast. Go look up his highlights. I think all the comments are, oh, shit. Yeah, he was a baller. We'll see you in 6 minutes. Hour 3 is on the other side. Well, hello, sensual piano keys. You sound incredibly inspirational and motivational. Big announcement coming from our company. You know, throughout my entire life, I've made decisions that people have said, ooh, that is stupid. You've read about them, you heard about them. When I was in high school, I went to an underground poker game, won $1,400, flew myself down to Miami, won a kicking contest, and got a scholarship to West Virginia the next day. I turned my back on soccer that day. Everybody said, you're an idiot. Why are you doing that? You have more schools looking at you for soccer than you do for football. What are you thinking? Fast forward 8 years with the Indianapolis Colts, and I was on top of the world, top of the mountain. How's the view? Not too shabby. And when I was at the top of my game, I decided, you know what? I'm going to pursue some other stuff. My friends and I are going to go to work on the internet. We're going to try to chase fulfillment as opposed to just a paycheck. And there were some interesting responses from people of power in the sporting world.
Make them tear the uniform off of you. Sure. Look, somebody needs to stage an intervention. People who know this guy, get to him now. Make him put his helmet back on and get to camp.
Oh, no, there's no intervention, Wilbon. No, no, no. Here we are 3 years after that date, and it's a celebration, bitches. Cut the music. Let's hand out some bags to the boys. For the boys. For the boys.
By the way, that's for you, brother. Oh my God.
Are you home?
All right, come out the front door.
What's up, dude?
What is this?
What's this?
Oh, you son of a bitch.
What the fuck?
Fuck you.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. That is the bag of money.
Fanduel deal went through. There's $50,000 in there for you. Here's a backpack with $50,000 in it. Well, $50,000 in there.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's $50,000 in there. Yes, there's $50,000 in there.
Are you fucking serious?
Let's go.
Did you rob a bank?
Oh, man. Let's go, dude.
Let's go. I appreciate you, buddy.
Yo, this is...
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, dude.
We did it?
Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, thank you.
Dude, it's a fuck ton of money. You guys.
When I asked Dan Patrick for some advice, he told me always take care of the boys.
Well, and you should know those people that are there with you, that their value cannot be overstated and should not be overstated.
So, Mike Wilbon, they didn't hold my jersey on me. They didn't hold my helmet on me. We didn't have an intervention. What we have is a celebration. Because when you bet on yourself, sometimes you hit for big. And for us, the only place we'll bet for the next couple years in an exclusive deal, Fanduel backed the Brinks truck up to our office, and we have never been more thankful, more excited, and more together as we promote the greatest sports book on planet Earth. Travis called heads. No!
Sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm sorry that it worked out this way, but I told you.
You're not
I had
sorry.
to trust my instincts. You asked me what I thought. I thought it was going to be heads. I didn't
What about
wanna have
Travis
to pick it. I
Kelce
didn't know
going
you
out
put
there?
30K on it.
Yeah, I mean, was that the cleanest toss of all time?
No, it was terrible.
But that thing took one bang straight in. What a horse shit toss.
They watered the field. Old Notre Dame versus USC. They raised the grass.
You son of a bitch.
We all know that wasn't a fair coin toss.
No, it was
They should
not.
redo it.
It was a lot worse than 50-50 after fucking watching that thing. A lot of people say that's why you don't bet 30,000 on a coin toss. You know?
Seems like a reasonable thing to bet 30K on.
Because you got no control. You got no control, guys. So I guess not even like a thought could go into it.
Well, Christmas is canceled.
Yeah, we're giving away a lot, but nowhere near as much as we once had thought.
No.
Remember that double 70K? Take it back.
Yeah, for sure. Fanduel just made so much money right there.
Use.
Hey, as we get back into society, let's remember, people will punch you in the fucking mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Shot an error is its second.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. It is Thursday, June 17th, 2021 years after zero. Hour 3 begins right now. Shout out to Fred Taylor joining us.
Thank you, Fred.
Good conversation with him. First time ever. Chris Long earlier in the show also. This hour, maybe we'll get a check-in on A.J. Hawk, who's currently down at an Ohio State Buckeye hotel land cruise that they do for charity every single year. Mm-hmm. We have scoured the internet for videos. We have found one. And if this is how his entire week is going to be, I can't wait to hear about how he is doing. Right now, what are we yesing to? No video. The Athletic. So the big conversation right now is something that I don't like to get on a high horse often. All right? I don't like doing it. No. Because normally whenever you're live for 3.5, 4 hours every single day talking, and a lot of things can happen on the fly, and then you start thinking about it and it just continues to kind of snowball and snowball and snowball. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I'm like, why wouldn't this situation happen?
Yes.
I've been very loud about it for a very long time, and it's because I am such a big fan of said player. Have been since he was a mere early teenager, when I got a chance to witness what he was doing to tiny little country white kids in Carolina as a teenager, dunking over their heads. I was like, oh shit. As somebody who was in high school while LeBron was in high school and the internet didn't exist the way it does now with social media, you had to go online. These were the types of clips that were making their way into cities across the country about LeBron James. Now it's happening on Instagram immediately after going on. Oh shit, the next LeBron's here. Oh shit, it's Zion Williamson.
Yes.
Okay? He goes to Duke. Obviously, Coach K somehow can't win a national championship with him. People said he wasn't going to be able to play in college. He did. He played very well. Actually, they should have just fed him more now that we're watching him in the NBA with his style of play. He wasn't going to be able to play in the NBA. His knees were bad. They were resting him. His body wasn't right. He was getting announced second or third in the starting lineup, and they were kind of hampering and holding him back. Well, he's not going to be able to handle a whole season. It's like, maybe he is. This guy is an anomaly. He's an alien. It's Zion. Maybe just let him do his thing. I go down and introduce Zion. I get to watch Zion live. I get to meet some people maybe in the Zion camp. And I think to myself, this kid is it. His shoes get released. They're the best shoes that I've worn in some time. I wore the Zions yesterday. They're incredibly comfortable and look amazing. The pink ones, which I guess is his middle school. I didn't even know your middle school has color or whatever. The maroon and pink is his middle school color or something like that. I don't know what that means. Those ones aren't good. But the black and white ones that he put out are amazing. I'm a big Zion fan. They actually changed the bubble last year so that he could potentially play in a play-in game in the bubble because the NBA wanted him in the bubble. Now, the Pelicans weren't in a position to necessarily make the bubble. The NBA, in my eyes, might be wrong, they reconfigured what they were going to do in the bubble, which, by the way, didn't make everybody happy. There's people that weren't happy about it. I think to get this dude into the bubble because the NBA understands how big of a star he is. But now, once you start seeing these teams get built, okay, and coaches come and go, Van Gundy was fired after 1 year coaching at the Pelicans. The last guy, probably a good guy. I saw him strolling the sideline as I was down there at a Pelicans game 1 week before the quarantine happened and everything like that. He was the one, I think, that was pacing Zion, or maybe he was the general manager. Who knows what it is? I started saying, you know what? I want to see Zion on national TV every fucking night.
Yes.
I want to see Zion on Tuesdays. I want to see him on Thursdays. You know what? LeBron in Cleveland, you were able to see LeBron in Cleveland as soon as LeBron got there. And that Cleveland team, by the way, was not necessarily stacked, but they had LeBron. He was making amazing plays, doing things. The king is here. Zion is almost getting buried down in New Orleans. Now, I love New Orleans.
Incredible. Wonderful city.
Down in the bayou, I absolutely, and Houday, I love everything about New Orleans. I like the people. Hey, hell, I even like the Pelicans. You know, I went down there into the blender, Smoothie King, had a great time with that. But if the Pelicans aren't going to bring in players to play alongside Zion, which is always, I always say that, well, if the Pelicans then are going to become the Brooklyn Nets or the LA Lakers or any of these other teams that are potentially just going to invest, Golden State Warriors, if you're just going to invest in your team and get the stars, which is how you win in the NBA. Started with the Heat, obviously, but it's gone on before that. Let him go. Let Zion go so we can all enjoy him. I guess we're not the only people, and I'm not the only person that's saying that. Shams Charania, insider at The Athletic and the Stadium for the NBA, he wrote an article that basically said some family members would like to see Zion on another team because of the Pelicans' failure to put the right pieces around him, per The Athletic. And Shams Charania says this particular tweet. There was an excerpt that I saw earlier in the entire thing where it says multiple sources have told The Athletic that certain family members want Williamson on another team, okay? Certain family members have been referenced in Zion's entire, business career, whether it was an agent or publicist or marketing person that was wanting to get a piece of the Zion pie, and there were some people labeled or whatever. Zion's family is tight, I think, by the way. I think they are a very tight-knit group, business-wise, decision-making-wise, growth-wise, what we're doing-wise, everything, I think. So if some members of his family are saying that, if it's the members that we have heard about, whether it's via other people's reporting or maybe even people that are in the building, that's not just like some family members. That's team 3.
Yeah, the core.
That is the decision. That's the Russell Wilson team there. That is around there. And you can't blame them for thinking that strictly because of everything I just said. They know that the kid that they have raised, the person that they have driven around probably to AAU tournaments, the person that they've had to probably go through many different shysters trying to make money off of whatever, the person that they have, seen grow into this man, this NBA player, and all the work that they've all put into it, including Zion, and they know he's an alien, always has been. Hey, ever since we took him to this one tournament, he was better than everybody, this tournament better than everybody, this entire thing, they know it. So whenever they see everybody else's legacy being defined by how many wins they have, how many trophies, how many MVPs they get, that's how everybody's judged. Jordan, Kobe, Braun, all talked about just strictly rings. Now, I guess you go back Bill Russell and there's others that have won a lot and that doesn't get talked about. But the Zion team has to know if this motherfucker doesn't win anything, people are just going to never know that the greatness that you saw on the internet and those highlight reels is actually a great basketball player who's rebounding, assisting, layups, shooting. He's developing a great shot. It's like, I could see how people want it because I've been asking for it. Who knows how the Pelicans are going to handle this, though? They fire the coach. They say in the Athletic article, it said that isn't the biggest problem that is looming for the New Orleans Pelicans. The problem is finding the right pieces to put around Zion and make Zion happy. It's like, okay, so I was potentially right in line with how everybody over there was feeling. I feel pretty good about that. I was killed by Pelicans fans. They were coming after me. That's not how it works. That's not this whole thing. It's like, no, I'm just telling you, this is how I would feel if I was Zion and his people. They are. Pelicans have to get it right. They know that. Or even before the Super Max, which is what, $100 million difference if you stay on the team and go somewhere else? Maybe they'll even make the jumps because they say off the court, he's going to make a bunch of money. But then we also want him to maybe have a little bit of help. Maybe not that Ball, okay, and Ingram, my guy,
of course,
and other players there aren't. But when you see all-star teams being assembled in places, that's who you got to beat. And I think Zion, Ja probably, and others, Trae Young maybe, even if though they might go and win this whole goddamn thing. Atlanta, especially after that Philly collapse, colossal collapse last night. Hey, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Get back out there. Someone get him serious. Trae Young doesn't seem to be getting hotter and hotter as this whole thing goes on. That'll happen. Don't worry about it. But I think we're going to see, and if Zion moves, and you got LeBron on a team, and you got Durant, Harden, Irving on a squad, and you got Zion somewhere, what's going to happen with Dame? Right? Is Dame going to end up there? Like, what if there just becomes like 4 power players almost, 2 in each conference, and then just kind of move on from there? I think that's what we're inevitably staring down, and maybe Zion will be the linchpin for that.
Yeah, and Shams also talks about in that article how Zion himself was very irritated when they traded JJ Redick because him and JJ had a good, they had a good relationship, and also JJ's
Duke ties. Yeah, JJ's been around.
Yeah, and there was that whole joke during the bubble. Hey, I've made it to the playoffs 13 years in a row. You better not fuck this up for me. But also JJ told the Pelicans front office, hey, either trade me before the season or trade me after the season because my family and everything. And then they did him dirty by trading him during the season to Dallas.
Wasn't he allegedly going to do a buyout?
Yeah,
right?
to Brooklyn.
Yeah. To get to Brooklyn. Just like when Blake did it, then JJ was going to do a buyout to get to Brooklyn. And my take was, you don't want to be on the team that people are trying to pay to leave. Okay,
Right. No.
You want to be on the team where people are paying to get to. And Zion is now trapped on a team where somebody who's been in the NBA a long time, who he was tight with, went to the same school as him, and has had success, or same school as him, and has had success in the NBA. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm paying all I can. So you could see how Zion feels this way. But I don't think Pelicans fans are going to be happy about it. I want to let you know that. He's on a mural now on the side. He wasn't his rookie year. It's not your team.
Doesn't make sense.
You're not getting announced last. Only reason why we're on national TV, but you will not get announced last.
This is not your team.
This is not your team, okay? By the way, Drew Holiday, hell of a run right now with the Bucks, I believe. He was the eldest statesman on that team, so he was announced last. Ingram was announced, I think, after Zion as well. It was strictly age-driven, and I just wanted them to say, hey, Zion, it's your team, dude. Come on. You're going to be our guy. We're announcing you last. We're going to try to make this thing around you, and we're just going to go for it. I went down there. I asked people why they weren't doing that, and they said, we're going to try. He's young, though. He's a very young guy. He's 19 years old or something like that.
Teach him how to run.
Why do you think franchises have such a trouble just saying somebody's a superstar? Like you see it with
ego,
Rodgers.
Right? Is it ego?
Brady left the Patriots. Now Brady just does what he wants with the Bucks, and it works. Like, why is it such a big deal?
So I would assume, and I've been saying that a lot lately because I don't want to get caught on a particular stance on something because we don't know if this is true or not. I have no idea if this is true or not. But if you're a gatekeeper in places, the NBA, the NFL, wherever, you probably want to feel, Jerry Krause, I think, is a good, you want to feel as if you were the reason that they had success. Like, I'm the reason why this happened. And then once the star becomes bigger than the everything else, then they probably, maybe their feelings get hurt or their ego gets hurt or whatever. And for good reason, by the way. Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, Bill was like, listen, we've been doing this one way and we won 6 Super Bowls doing it or whatever. So you can see how they could run into heads. But Aaron Rodgers is a beautiful depiction of, hey, listen, when you're the greatest of all time at something, like there's a chance you're going to be a little bit different than everybody else. You know what I mean? If you want extraordinary, you can't be ordinary. You got to add a little extra. So there's going to be a little bit of a difference between that person and maybe everybody else. Even the elite, amongst the elites in athletics, they're a different breed of people, okay? Like that is, I was very fortunate, and I can't say this enough. whether it's Vinatieri or Peyton or like even guys like Joseph Adai, who just acted like a pro at all times, like getting a chance to see the difference between like, oh, this is this and this is this. It's just a different world. And at some point you just got to say, let's just get this fucking guy to the game. Like, hey, whatever you need, dude, let's just get you to the game. In football, let's get you to Sunday. Yeah. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday night, Friday, I think Saturday as well.
Yep.
So let's just get you to a day where there's turn the lights on, and let's just get you to the goddamn game. And in basketball, hey, I'll get you a couple guys that can pass you the rock and shoot some threes. What do you think we need here? We need a couple 3-point shooters, somebody that can really pass the rock, and then another big guy would be good to kind of open up the paint a little bit for you, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's build around this guy who's the future. Yeah, I don't know. And
you think they would just keep open dialogue between the star player and the guy? You know,
so
what
he's
do you
19.
What do you think?
That was kind of the overall take that I got from the Pelicans people when I was asking questions. Nobody that was in management was talking to us. It was just PR and people that have maybe been around the decision makers and why they're doing what they're doing. He was only like 19 or whatever. So I think they were all very scared that they put the entire organization on a 19-year-old's shoulder.
Crumbles.
They didn't know, which, by the way, I thought that was a very valid point. I'm like, I hadn't thought about that, actually. But then as you see the team being built, at some point you got to realize, like, okay, are we missing out here? We got a guy that people would probably... New Orleans, great city, by the way.
Yeah.
We got a guy... The arena is beautiful. We got a place, and I think their fans are pretty passionate. We got a place that maybe we could recruit people to with Zion here. Maybe we could become those teams, and I assume that's why Zion's people are like, why don't we just make this a thing?
And they probably see it with Anthony Davis. Like, New Orleans has been through this song and dance, having an unbelievable big man, just build around him, and then they just choose not to do it.
Sometimes they try to bring in players, they just never bring in the right ones.
They've never really.
No, but it's apparent who the right ones are. Like whenever they become.
It's never.
But even the
top guys,
even the Van Gundy hire, like everyone knew that wasn't gonna work.
I mean,
you can't be spelling Celsius. Dude.
Can't be
this
spelling
shit's
cola.
liquid gold around here.
I thought it was empty, to be honest with you.
This shit is liquid gold. By the way, we got some big news. Our friends at Celsius just launched a new protein bar that's all about flavor. It's called Fast Protein, and boy, is it delicious. You think protein bar? What do you think?
Tastes like shit.
Chalky,
terrible.
Chalky.
Dry,
Heavy.
dry,
Thick.
heavy, lack of any flavor. This Fast here, it's called Fast Protein. That comes in pretty cool little.
A golden casing.
Yeah, but they also have a white packaging
the
too,
cookies
right?
and cream is
Like
the blue one.
Yeah, but anyways, these things, there's no reason they should be as juicy as they are.
So moist.
Protein bars are supposed to taste like cardboard with a little bit of seasoning on top somehow. That mustache looks good, but you should see what's inside that gold package right there. That salted caramel Fast Protein bar is the most delicious, scrumptious, juicy, magical protein bar any of us have ever tasted with our own taste buds. Ain't that right?
It's like a chocolate bar.
It has 20 grams of protein, less than 2 grams of sugar, and it's also considered low carb somehow.
Delicious.
Now look, Ty's opening this one up here. You hear the crinkle. Go ahead. Can you split that in half and just see because normally with most protein bars, look at that.
Easy.
Normally most protein bars,
Snickers.
they'll there will be like dust that will pop up right there. It is beautifully juicy and tastes absolutely fantastic. You can go to Amazon.com at the link in the description if you're at YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Use promo code 20PATFAST for 20% off. 12-pack, 6-pack, whatever you want. You can get 20% off on Amazon with promo code 20PATFAST for a limited time. Go to Amazon, find Fast Protein.
They are delicious.
Nothing better.
Hell yeah.
The Celsius drinks make no sense.
No.
Yeah, they're impossible.
It tastes better than every other energy drink, and it's on the thing. It says healthier than everybody else.
Bunch of zeros.
Bunch of zeros. Here you go. No big deal. No sugar. No nothing. It's going to be unbelievable. And this diesel one, the heat, if you can find it, it gets me through literally an entire day, basically.
There's no crash.
It makes no sense.
No crash at all.
And that's because there's ginger in it, guarana, green tea in there, things that you can pronounce and understand what Celsius is doing. And this protein bar makes no sense either. Let's get some phone calls, shall we? Let's go to Paul in Tulsa. Paul, what's going on?
Go, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you very much for taking my call, Pat. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Before I get to the reason for my call, I have to say real quick, Pat, as a Paisan, how dare you besmirch the good name of a meatball sub?
Yes. Now you're besmirching the name of meatball, pal.
Thank you, Paul.
Let me tell you something. That meatball sub, I'm assuming it was created by an Irish person who is trying to degrade the Italian meatball by putting it into a place it was not supposed to be.
That'd be the best thing the Irish ever did.
No,
Watch your mouth. Got potatoes, dude.
Ever have them? Huh? How's your breakfast
You guys
without
tried
the
killing
bag?
potatoes.
Huh?
You guys tried killing all the potatoes.
Don't you
No, that
bring
was a
up.
snake. St. Patrick's. Get out of here, snakes. We don't like none of them.
Meatball sub 221 BC. The Romans made it.
How about that? Ancient.
When was bread created? Okay,
220.
10,000.
And when was it a
BC.
sub? Was that not a sandwich? Maybe 221 BC. They're probably eating slobs like it's a soup. I don't believe a word that guy just said. Anyways, Paul, go on, please.
Appreciate that, Z.
Oh, Paul, shut up! That's a fake stat, Paul. That's a fake stat.
I really just wanted to call in and share my enthusiasm and excitement that I have already purchased tickets for Friday Night SmackDown emanating from Tulsa, Oklahoma on August 13th.
Okay. Hey, will I be there? Possibly. Hopefully.
Wicked excited to get back to live wrestling. Excited to have Pat and the boys in Tulsa.
Yeah,
I wanted to thank for coming down. I will gladly show you around, show you the nice places to hit, hang out,
Perfect.
and you'll see me at the show because to celebrate the fact that we'll all be in person watching wrestling and that we obviously beat COVID.
Yes.
I'll be donning my vintage replica Ric Flair robe and carrying my replica gold WWE Heavyweight Championship belt.
Woo! Shout out to you, Paul. Shout out to you, Paul. Appreciate that out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I hope I'm there for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really do. There's some things that got to get figured out. I want to be there. I think they want me to be there. I think not everybody in the wrestling community wants me to be there, but I think WWE wants me to be there. But whenever we started this thing, we knew that we were going to travel. WWE was going to travel again. Didn't know exactly when. And it was like, hey, we'll figure that out when we get. Well, guess what? We're there. Now we're going to figure it out.
Figure it out.
I think we will. I think we will figure it out because I've enjoyed the hell out of it. It's like, Friday, and I would never say that our job is a difficult one here. It is not.
No.
Okay? Say dumb things into a microphone 3.5, 4 hours a day. Put that on repeat 5 times a week. You get it. All right? But whenever I get to SmackDown, it's like, all right, the weekend. Here we go. As soon as that show starts, it feels like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I have a blast. I have an absolute blast over there. And I'm still like a fan. I'm still enjoying it. I love working with Michael Cole. Like, Michael Cole is one of my favorite people just to fucking prod and fuck with. You know what I mean? He is somebody that is unlike anybody we have in here with the way he operates, where he's from. So I enjoy chatting with him. Everybody at WWE has been so damn nice. I hope it works, but business-wise, it does have to figure itself out because football season is a rather large time for this show.
Yeah.
Okay? And I don't like it. It's worth a lot of money to a lot of people. So it's like we have to continue to do that without taking away from it because I want to live out a dream. There's just a lot of, hey, this is big boy tank top stuff.
Right.
This is big boy tank top stuff because whenever you're going through, your company's numbers and everything, and there's a potential whatever about to happen, and you see like WWE, it's like, why are you spending money to do this on Friday nights when you're already on the air for 20 hours a week or whatever? It's like, that's a good question. All right. We got to turn that red to black at least. Okay. I understand. We'll get that thing to green. We'll figure that out. Hey, listen, we'll figure that out. Don't worry about that whole thing. But that's real. Like, we got to, because people think WWE is flying me on these private planes. I've seen a couple of those too. No. I've wanted to do this so bad that it's literally like, and to their credit, by the way, they're like, we don't need you all day here, okay? If you want to, let's make this whole thing work. We have to do that going forward because I'd love to get to Tulsa. And if you're listening, maybe I should tell you to get the seat directly behind me because at least you won't hate me for it. I'm going to stand. Like that. Yeah. That is just something that happens. In those seats right behind the commentators, those are very expensive seats. And I assume, there's going to be a couple situations where, sit down, damn it! I can't wait. I'll slap you right in the mouth. Some rich guy and his kid or whatever, you know what I mean? That's going to be interesting. So maybe we do want our people there.
Oh.
Maybe you guys buy every ticket in that front row.
Yeah, row there.
You should do it.
So then every show, every clip of the thing, you guys are in the back. You know what I mean? Otis. Hey, he's tossing humans at me over that table.
Yeah.
Shaved face, whole new world. I love that SmackDown, though. Shout out to you, Paul. What's up, Diggs?
No, I was going to say, maybe the WWE, I don't know what their rules are going forward with the Facciacci and stuff like that, but NHL, NBA, they've left the first few rows behind the players' bench and stuff like that empty for the safety of the players. So maybe like safety of announcers, there won't even be anybody right there.
That's interesting, isn't it? Am I somebody that they would think, you know what, we need to take care of him?
I think they are.
I don't think so. I think, listen, I've gotten a good sense of things. And when I am at the bottom of said totem pole looking up, I've recognized it immediately. For instance, when you're a punter on a team, okay, here we go. And when actual decisions are being made, I'm going to shut the fuck up. Unless I have a little, all right, I'll go ahead and do it. WWE, I'm next to the greatest of all time, and Michael Cole. I'm the new guy that's been there for 2 months. I think I'm pretty low in that whole, if they're thinking about, my COVID sitch, even though, what does that mean, though? Does that mean I'm going to get it? I could still get it? I'm not going to die from it? Somebody was tweeting me yesterday telling me that I was a stooge for thinking that you don't get COVID because you got vaccinated. I was like, I thought that's what I'm doing.
You still get it, Chris Paul. You definitely won't.
Whoa, we don't. Do we know if Chris Paul?
No. Speculating, but you definitely won't die.
No, you can't speculate, though, because this is...
I can.
Thought that guy
you're right. COVID cowboy.
But you definitely won't die from it.
That's what the vaccine says?
Yeah.
I don't know if the vaccine says that either.
They're not getting hospitalized.
Well, Pat, you probably weren't before the vaccine, so I'm not sure why.
Tony! Let's get to a break. Are you kidding me, Tony?
Easy, cowboy.
Jeez Louise.
Slow down.
Hey, he's on a heater right now. He's firing. Cowboy's got the 6-shooter out there. Hey, Hammer, pipe, Dahn. About those types of things.
Yeah.
We're not smart enough to know if what he just said was right or not. But I am conflicted on what I did. Because I thought for sure, just so I never get it, so I can go, hey, daps are back. How you doing? Oh, you got it? Cool. Do whatever. I got the thing. It's like a shield around me. Shout out to me for doing that. I didn't know that was the case. And then I got attacked on the internet. People were like, you can still get it, dumbass.
95%.
So 95% I'm going to survive if I get it?
95% you won't get it.
Are you sure of this? Because I was...
Dr. Gump.
Which one did you...
Oh, is it depend upon which one you get on the percentage? But
I know which one you get.
Does that mean, though, that I'm not going to get it or I won't die from it? That's what I need to know. Because if I thought it was just so I don't get it, because I thought it was like a, hey, get out of jail free card. Here you go. You won't get this thing that is potentially going to
get you.
Potentially.
Maybe.
Not getting into that conversation at all. Actually, just go ahead and mute his microphone.
Whoa.
I thought it was so I wouldn't get it. And then some people are like, no, you can still get it. You just won't die from it. It's like, well, then what are we doing? Does it matter? Why does it matter? I don't know what happens.
It's like the flu shot, right? Like it's similar because the flu shot's a vaccine and there's like a 40
well, the flu shot tries to guess what flu is coming.
But
this particular one, though, there was only a few strands, right? So you would think that they were able to take them all out.
Yeah. That's why the percentage is so high.
Who the fuck? 10 years from now, what are we going to say about this whole thing?
Well, I don't know if it'll matter.
We'll only have 5 left.
Yeah. Who?
Us.
Hey, that's what Johns Hopkins says.
Good line. Got studies right here.
That's what Johns Hopkins says.
Who?
Everybody.
What?
Who gets it? 15 years.
15 years.
Who said that?
Good line.
That's what Johns Hopkins said.
Yeah.
Who told you that Johns Hopkins said that?
Alex Jones.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Alex.
Let's get to a break. We're back in 4 minutes with some phone calls. Wrapping up this Thursday, June 17th. We're going to find out about Chris Paul, though.
Yeah.
Because if he's 14-day or whatever, or a few days, that whole thing, this is going to be very public, I think, just strictly from what happens to Chris Paul, because that Suns team was captivating everybody's attention. Now, COVID went ahead and made it about COVID.
Yeah, one last time.
At least one last time. We thought this was over. We thought John Rahm was the last one to get it. Now Chris got it. Now we're going to figure out the turn. I mean, it's insane time to be alive. Can't wait to chat with you on the other side of this 4-minute break. This is the Pat McAfee Show.
Lakers, welcome to the blender, the home of a team and a fan base on a playoff push the likes the world has never seen before. Crescent City, get on your feet for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Sprite, an incredibly refreshing drink. Starting at forward was the number 2 overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. Now he's an NBA All-Star, Brandon Ingram. At forward, this man has been dunking on little white kids on the internet for 10 years. The incomparable, unstoppable 6'6" phenom, Zion Williamson. At center, standing at 8 feet tall, from Georgia Tech, number 22, Derek Favre. This man's family had a reality show in Lithuania. He was born and raised in LA, but he found his J in Vienna. Lonzo Ball. And the OG of the roster. On the court, he's a monster. Braids hanging, shots banging. It's not Drew, it's Drew Holiday. Let's get this done. Thank you very much. Go Pelicans.
Tired of me right now.
That's how you play basketball. From the Red Panda. Up we go. Yes! 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 Red Panda! What a legendary moment.
You're a legend. It's an honor. Right, so mission accomplished, right? Come down, intro some players, throw some balls to Red Panda, fly back to Indianapolis.
Every day is game day for these guys. It's showtime on the Pat McAfee Show.
The guys over at Roback have been sending us their performance polos, quarter zip pullovers, and hoodies, and we'll be honest, we love our stuff.
Nothing better.
Look at that hat that's right there on Connor's head.
It's my favorite hat. Fits like a glove and it's comfortable.
It's beautiful. They have many different styles of hats as well, alongside their incredible upper body wear that makes you look professional and is incredibly comfortable. When you see someone rocking a Roback with their dog logo, you just kind of give them that subtle nod because you know they get it. It's like a Jeep wave.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm both hands out the top.
Still undefeated, haven't missed one.
What's that? Both hands up the top?
Any Jeep waves? Got them all.
I don't think anybody is going to be able to beat me. I saw somebody other side of highway. 5 lanes over. Chucked it out the top. They did not send it back. They had roof on and windows up, and I did not see fingers lift from the wheel, which is the normal thing. I literally threw that thing 5 lanes over there, across the median and everything. Did not get it back or whatever.
Are you getting Jeep waves from other people who are not driving Jeeps?
I'm getting a lot of what's up Pats. I think everybody knows around Indy about that monster truck.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I drove around downtown for the first time in the Jeep, had to get from one place to another, and there was a lot of Pat. And straight up every single time. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you.
They hear you coming.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah.
Thing's a monster truck. Very difficult to drive on the highway. Big wheels.
Turning.
So yeah, it's like, it's insane. Yeah, it is. It's not like that. It's just, it actually rides like rather smooth for it. But with how big the wheels are, if you hit a bump and the wheels turn just a little bit, you gotta correct this. You gotta, because these big bad boys are shifting like they're fucking like a snowmobile almost. That's what it feels like. I'm driving and you're on top of it. So there's been a lot of it looks like I'm boozed up, I assume, if you're behind me, but really it's just like I'm trying not for this thing to topple over. So
a lot of bumps too.
I've had to slow down. Quite a bit when I'm driving that thing.
Really?
You're cruising.
Yeah, just cruising. Yeah. That's why I can get the all the way over. Anyways, when you see somebody wearing a Roback here, go ahead and give them one of those. Because they get a Roback's performance polos are next level. It took them 20 iterations to get the perfect collar structure that lasts after many washes, unlike any other polo out there. We love them. Their print designs are starting to take over and gain the attention of several NFL stars. I'm not even a big polo guy, but Roback's polos are so good that whenever I put on a collared shirt, you know what I say?
What's that?
It's gotta be a Roback.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
They just dropped performance hoodies as well that I kid you not are the softest, most comfortable performance hoodies in the game. Use code PAT at Roback.com for a generous 20% off for all new customers through the end of this week.
Okay.
That's RHOBACK.com for 20% off all polos, quarter zips, hoodies, and performance tees with code PAT. They have new summer polos on the way, so go check them out at Roback.com. Shout out to Roback.
Let's go. Roback. Thank you, Roback.
Let's get some phone calls, shall we, here to wrap up this beautiful hour 3 on Thursday, June 17th before we hop on a bird and fly to Tampa Bay. Hey, let's go Bolts.
Go Bolts.
Go Bolts. Go Bolts.
What happened last night? Golden Knights just got taken to task, huh?
Nah. Boy showed
What
fight
happened to
late.
Stoner?
Canadiens.
Hey, the habitants up there, the Habs.
Hey, now we got a series. Okay.
What is it?
1-1.
Oh, we're in the dog days of the
We're
season.
in the dog days of the series. But I agree. Fucking Stoner needs to, give me some action out there.
61.
I mean, he's getting fucking blasted around, but it's like, Stoner, I need you to put one home, pal.
Hey, Stoner, we're very close to Lord Stanley's Cup here, pal.
Very close.
As soon as you saw that guy's eyes, you knew the Canadians were winning that game.
Yeah, so this dude did the Vanden Bosch. How do you get, because at one point in my life, I wore contacts every single day. Yeah. And when the colored contacts came out, we were in high school. It was awesome. And you try to put the white ones on, but you have like a haze around your vision, basically. Mm-hmm. Or if you go with like an electric blue or a super green. I used to try them all. Never was comfortable in my eyes because it was a little bit heavier. But the outer parts of your eyes, I didn't think that changed. It kind of stayed the same. Somehow Vanden Bosch was able to turn into a complete demon with these things. And last night, somebody on the Canadiens, he looked like a complete demon. It looks like he's got bloodshot eyes alongside these contacts as well, right?
See, that's what I thought. I was like, this fucking guy's boozed up. Get him off the ice.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
How the hell is this guy playing in the game?
How do you
It's
get
not
two
safe.
pink eyes?
It's not safe.
Yeah, but instead, I think it was a intimidation, which, by the way, did for me looking at him on the internet with those eyeballs, did get the dub last night against Vegas. And whenever I was in the presence of Vanden Bosch, I did almost poop a couple times with how his eyes looked to me as well.
Pat,
so I think it does play. It does work.
Pat, those are not contacts. Those are two bloodshot eyeballs.
Okay, so he was just...
There's a fucking problem with this guy.
He
So
might
get him help.
He was coming back from an injury. He might have had a lot of Toradol.
No, I don't know if Toradol was going to do that. Can you zoom in on these things? So do you pop blood vessels in your eyeball? You yell, scream,
Throw up. You might have been throwing up.
throwing up. Maybe you're so nervous. Get back in there for the Habs.
Yeah, he drank 86 Labatt's in the fucking locker room before the game. That's the problem.
Before the game, you think, or a couple hours before it took a nap? Woke up.
Molson's. Team's owned by Molson.
Triple X is Triple X.
By the way, the kicker, UCLA, Molson family.
Absolutely.
I completely forgot about that, but I thought that was contacts. He made his whole eye look like.
Me too.
He changed the game. Like, he didn't play game one, and they missed him massively. He's very good.
So maybe it was explosive puking because he knew he was back and the boys needed him. Hey, boys, I drank all Molson last night. How many? The whole fucking thing. All right, I'm going to get out there for you. Blah, full puke. How did he played well in that whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking legend, this guy.
Oh, boys.
Almost lost both of his eyes before the game somehow. He's back. I hope there isn't anything seriously wrong with him, and it is just something that he decided upon. What's that, Nick?
It's Jeff Petrie for the Montreal Canadiens. It's what is it? Where is it?
Oh, boy.
Conjunctiva?
Can't even read.
Conjunctiva? I can't find it. I'm trolling for it. No one has it anymore. It's gone all of a sudden. But it apparently didn't affect his vision whatsoever, and he's completely fine. It just looks freaky as hell.
Did he have dry eyes? Was it itchy?
Could have used some eye drops maybe.
Was he itchy?
Didn't say. So what happened to him was he got hurt. He got his finger. He got his pinky stuck in the camera photographer hole in the glass as he was skating by.
Last night? Because he couldn't see anything because his eyes.
It damn near ripped his finger off. So he'd been missing time because of that.
Oh, that happened before. Okay, I guess I would be. If you almost lose a pinky, you could potentially see how enough energy and emotion could be built up behind your eyeballs. It just blows out the entire bottom half of it. It's like his eyes half full or half empty with blood. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta. Yeah. Which way do we look at this thing, and how long will that be there? I feel bad. That has to be so uncomfortable. I'd imagine.
Yeah, but they won, so he better be screaming in the locker room before the next game.
Hockey is about tradition.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He has a subconjunctival hemorrhage.
There it is.
How'd that happen?
Hemorrhage.
What's that? What happens there?
That's not good.
No idea.
Something to do with blood.
It's a lot of blood.
Anyways, hockey's happening.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go Habs.
By the way, hockey. That guy has no eyes. He's playing out there. That's what hockey players do. What's that, Zito?
How about LeBron, though, if that happened to him?
LeBron's out there playing 48 minutes.
Yeah.
48 minutes. Too.
On the floor for 22.
He's been talking about this. We were saying all along that playing too much, bodies can't keep up.
That's right.
By the way, I like that LeBron's going to bat for the players because he is that guy. Mm-hmm. If he says something's going to change, maybe it'll change. Maybe we don't know what we're talking about. Kawhi Leonard, though, did...
big load management guy.
Yeah,
massive.
I was going to say rest, but that wasn't... Load management is the trigger word.
Yeah, for the resting.
That is the big thing.
Yeah.
It's not resting, it's a load management. It's like, okay, smart PR move, actually, because it does sound much more professional. It's like when you put vice or president in front of somebody, and it's like, or executive or chief or something like that. There's a lot of titles that are just a bunch of bullshit. Rest, the way they've been doing it. Kawhi, I guess that situation tells us that maybe it hasn't been perfected yet, and maybe they'll change the season. Who knows? Maybe Braun gets it done, though.
Yeah, and you won't know if the whole load management thing will work unless, until Kawhi's 40 years old and he's still playing well.
Well, speaking of us not knowing really anything about it until maybe 20 years from now, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
I thought we were staring down 10 years, by the way, because they were talking about the 10-year effects of it getting COVID. Mm-hmm. I thought we were staring down 10 years of being a little bit worried about that. Because we still don't know, by the way.
No
and
idea.
you know when we'll find out? About 9 years from now.
Yeah, that's right. Worry about it then.
Wait till all those people at that Rangers game.
Yeah, what happened with them? Was there any follow-up?
What happened?
Did they die?
Who?
The Rangers game, that first baseball game that was open up in Texas.
No, I don't think.
No, I think we're all right.
Been good, yeah.
Okay, good. So we did keep track of that, and they done good. They didn't die. Then we moved on. Now California, I guess.
Yeah.
Dodgers the other night had 50-some thousand.
52,000.
52,000 people. Here we go. We're
Jacksonville.
back. Hey, we're back.
Fights,
We're back. What's going to happen to us 9 years from now? We don't know, okay?
We'll find out.
Hey, we don't know. We'll stare it down together, though, won't we?
John Hopkins knows.
Hell yeah.
This is illegal. I paid for this.
Can't touch me.
Let's go to Jake. Let's go to Jake, who is being called Jim Stooge by Mitt in the name here. Jake Jim Stooge. What's going on, Jake Jim Stooge? Oh, this is the guy that called and said I was waiting on hold or whatever.
There it is.
Jake. All right, have a good one, dude.
See ya, dude.
Let's go to Alex in Florida. What's going on, Alex?
Hey, what up, guys? Pat and the boys. I just wanted to say, first off, thank you. I'm a resident, and so this last year was crazy in the healthcare world. I've seen mental health just take a dive, not just in the workers, the co-residents, the physicians, nurse practitioners, nurses, everyone, but like patients, suicide attempts going up, and just having your radio show on during the day while I'm typing out, banging out notes was huge. So huge thank you. I don't think you guys really understand what, the laughter and joy you bring to people. Which brings me to my first question.
Yeah, that's very nice of you.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Hey, hold on. We're not just going to get right past that without at least asking a follow-up or two to legitimize or find out if what we're thinking is true. Don't you think you could have been listening to something else maybe made life better? Why do you have the dumbest people of all time in your ears during it? We appreciate the fact that you did, but it feels like you're a much smarter human than us. I appreciate you delving down into the depths of dumb that we are and enjoying day-to-day with us, pal. Woo. Pretty good line.
Good alliteration.
I mean, I think it's like the gods aligned something perfectly where in med school I had a group of guys similar to you all where we were joking, talking sports all the time. We call them my bumbas. And, you just miss that. We all split into different residencies working crazy hours. You lose touch. So that's why, that's why I personally put it on. Feels like you're kicking it with the boys. I've got a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers fans in my life that are good friends. So I'm a Bills fan, hate Pittsburgh, but it just feels like home. And the laughter, man, you got to have laughter in your day to stay sane.
Steelers are dead, not his friends. Jesus. Sorry about that. We appreciate you, Alex. I was just letting the Steelers fan in the room know, Diggs, that a lot of people are saying the Steelers are dead.
Dead. What happened?
Well, you got no money. A lot of people left. Ben's back. New offense. What's going to happen? It's dead. The Browns are doing what the Browns are doing. The Ravens are doing what the Ravens are doing. An inevitable deal with Lamar Jackson.
It's always the second year after Tommy John, though. You do come back better.
Pitching baseball?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So maybe the Steelers aren't dead. Tell your friends that. All right. We appreciate the hell out of you, Alex. What do you want to talk
about? They're going to run into a buzzsaw week 1 coming into Buffalo. So I'm pumped. I'm going to that game. That's the first time I'm going to be in an NFL stadium since pre-COVID. So I'm jacked up for that.
Okay, perfect. Alex, what do you want to talk about, brother?
First thing, just in regards to mental health, I started looking into meditation, stuff like that. When you and Hawkster, when you have that big sports moment, do you guys have a mantra, a kind of step-by-step, or just going through, like, the mental reps? Like, how'd you key into that moment? And then question 2 is for the boys. Like, what's your funniest, worst, best sports tat story? My buddy lost a bet, and he had to get a Pittsburgh Steelers ass tat. He was allowed to choose it, but the fellas he had to get an ass tat.
Ass tat.
I want to hear what you guys need.
Elmer Fudd, pointing at the butthole, saying, "Get out of there, you freaking go." Shout out, Lorman. That's interesting. I think his question was, how do you get into like a zone or whatever? I have no idea. I don't know. I developed an ability to do so. I wish I had it a long time ago. There's some people that can do it at a different level than everybody else. For instance, Adam Vinatieri has this ability to separate his soul from his body somehow and just let the muscles and everything take over. I got a chance to experience it. For me, I just tried to okay, no more fun and games, basically. Let's go ahead and do this. That's kind of what I do. It's not an easy thing to do. I think it will be something that I try to teach my kid at a young age, though. Hey, mentally, you have to be able to take yourself to a place where it's the most important thing of all time. Whether it's on the practice field or in the game, you have to be able to get there. I wish I was able to get there younger. Getting a chance to be around Vinatieri helped me out a lot. I think just the mental reps in there. But not everybody can do it, I don't think. I don't think everybody can do it. I think it's an acquired thing, and I'm very lucky to do so. And do any of you have any punishments for anything that you had to do? Nick had to do that beer mile thing where he puked all over the place.
I don't really do that stuff anymore.
Diggs had to get a dinosaur tattoo, didn't you? What was that? No. You had to get a sleeve. What did you have to get a sleeve for watching the World Cup?
Yeah, I wanted that. You were talking about the Steelers being dead. They're not. But you know what is dead? The Chicago Bears being downtown.
Okay, so as that guy was asking the question, Zito comes into his microphone, which goes directly into my ear, mid-conversation with that guy, whatever's going on, and Zito goes, Bears news. And, we've talked about this publicly a lot. Zito does try to shoehorn some news. Oh, yeah. That necessarily.
Trust me, I wish we could skip this.
Yeah, and by the way, the way he said it, though, I was excited to hear because this is the first time it was a depressed Zete popping into the brain out of nowhere while a man was talking down in Florida. Chicago Bears, does this mean they're officially moving? Soldier Field no more? They're going to Arlington, off the lake, over to Arlington. Ladies and gentlemen, we recently submitted a bid to purchase the Arlington International Race Course property. It is our obligation to explore every possible option to ensure we're doing what's best for our organization and its future. If selected, this step allows us to further evaluate the property and its potential. So, Ted Phillips, Chicago Bears president and CEO, just released this statement via the Bears social media, I assume. They bought a race course property that is massive, that's a little bit outside of the city. It would be away from where Soldier Field was made. It would be away from where the legacy, the tradition, everything you've ever come to love about the Chicago Bears, their fans, their team, where Ditka once roamed and coached, is now going to be moved to another part of town. A race course that just got bought by Ted and the boys up there. And lady, who's the owner?
What was that? Virginia
buys this thing. And the reason why they're doing it, and I hate to say it's to Chicago.
Can't do it until 2033, by the way.
Okay, 2023 can't do it. The reason why they're doing it, and by the way, can have that thing built up by 2023 and then make the actual change. The entire reason why they're doing it, it's not because of the thought of tradition and what Soldier Field has been to the NFL, and right there on the lake with all that wind making kickers' lives nightmares, and the weather and the long grass and everything we've ever seen out of Chicago on NFL films that has just been beautiful. It's not about how awesome that was, and we're not spitting and pissing on the tradition. No. What we're doing, you see, is we're buying a big area where we can build a casino, a hotel, an entire shopping plaza, a nice stadium. You see that one out in Las Vegas? Hey, look how nice it is. Sweet. See that one in LA? That's what we're thinking. And we'll make it a casino. We'll do this whole thing. We'll rake in, hundreds of millions probably just off of this whole time. Come to Chicago Bear Don land. That's what they're going to build up outside of Chicago. It's a shame. You'd hope the Bears never do that because of how deep the tradition is. But it's just good business if you think about it.
How far away is Arlington from the current stadium?
I'm going to guess like 20, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad, dude.
Traffic.
Which way is it? Which way is it from Chicago?
Never eat sour. West.
Okay. All right. There it is. Never eat sour wheat. Sour wheat.
Yeah, that's how I remember.
That's a good point.
That's not too bad. Cardinal directions are something that might be difficult to remember. East, right,
Also
left,
farther.
west is something you could definitely think of, and north is up. I'd assume everybody knows
How
that.
farther away from the lake, though, is that's going to ruin home field advantage because no more wind and weather.
Yeah, is now the Windy City,
no.
which was actually just lake effect potentially.
Yeah. Wow.
Because Cleveland also absolutely miserable wind-wise. Is that going to change? Is Chicago going to become a kicker, punter, quarterback dream? Maybe, especially with Justin Fields out there leading the charge on this brand new casino, hotel, shopping plaza, stadium thing you guys are building over there. Soldier 2.0, maybe they'll call it.
Are they changing the name to the Arlington Park Bears?
No.
I mean, are they still going to be?
Is it in Chicago still?
By definition.
Oh, is this Santa Clara?
Oh, no.
Is that what this is?
It's a good distance away.
Zito, our resident Bears fan who grew up in Rose area.
Cicero area. Yeah.
Downers Grove.
Big fan of the
They went
Bears.
to Downers Grove, yeah.
But he doesn't know much like in-depth stuff about the Bears, but definitely life much
Enough
better.
that I know George Hallis is mad.
Bingo. Rolling over.
There it is.
What would
Is what-
Papa do?
What would he do? Zita's just a blind, loyal Bears fan. This one seems to have potentially cut right to the heart here.
Yeah.
He is depressed. He is sad. Whenever he heard about this, he actually said, it's that stupid mayor. This wouldn't be a headline if it wasn't for that stupid mayor keep saying things over there in Arlington. Not Chicago, by the way. Arlington's mayor, completely different city.
If you want to throw them up there, they're both.
Huh?
They're both stooges.
Well, no, but you were directly saying that the Arlington mayor was trying to stir up headlines with this entire thing.
Yeah.
Here we are just a couple days later, like, it's the future. New mayor, new city, new team, new stadium.
I just did the directions, and it's an hour away.
Yeah.
Shit.
No.
I
What do
do
you say,
believe
25, 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, with traffic, I mean, I know you got to take the train to get in there, and it takes a while.
Well, Elon's doing that, right? Elon's making the underground,
Hyperloop, the mega tunnel.
to get to the airport and get back to Chicago. Maybe he'll just do that so the players can get to practice under 45, 50 minutes. You know what I mean?
Cut a piece.
Everybody's got to move over there.
Oh, man.
Let's go Bears! Bear Don! Bear Don!
It's 5 minutes away from the original McDonald's ever made in Chicago.
Ever?
Big win.
Yeah, not like Big Mac, the one in Cali, but the first one in Chicago.
Oh, the first ever
Displays,
McDonald's.
yeah, that's what Exodus Plains, yeah.
So that is what maybe the Bears are selling.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Maybe they're buying that McDonald's and tearing it down to build a casino out there. Bears fans will still ride with this. You guys will just act like this is okay and not be a big deal. You think?
Well, at least we'll have parking now. I guess that'd be a perk.
Well, and the casino, like
It's gonna be a very nice area.
when I went to Foxborough and saw Patriot Place up there.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
Next level.
I mean, the plaza with everything being connected, and Robert Kraft, I think, was pretty ahead of that whole thing. Like, hey, we can build up this area to just basically be all money leads to us.
Yeah.
People stay here, they eat here, they gamble here, they watch the game here, they travel out of here. Like they start doing Jerry down there, Jerry World out in Arlington, Texas. By the way, he built up that entire area. They have an entire plaza across the street from that. I don't know if Jerry owns it. I assume he does.
Probably.
I'm not 100% sure. But like, I think the more and more teams realize how much money can be made in the surrounding areas of the stadium, you might see some more people move. And is that just disrespectful to tradition, or is it just trying to keep up and evolve with everybody else? I mean, that is the ongoing debate. And I guess we're going to find out from Bears fans over the next year or two how they feel about it.
Well, when they're making, $75 million every home game, I'm
77,
sure.
right?
77, yeah, whatever it was.
That's what Jerry was making.
Yeah, and now for New England, like you mentioned, there's even a train now from the city and from Providence that you can take right in there. It'll drop you off at the stadium.
That's nice.
That's insane that it's becoming a full experience. I wonder because places are becoming destination places.
Yeah.
As more and more people maybe watch at home or on their phone, they're like, hey, I want to go watch my team play. Maybe they're trying to make it more of a destination. Hey, stay here, got a hotel for you. If you got a ticket to the game, you already got a room. You just got to add this onto it. Fly out, have a good time. The internet in the stadium is going to be very, very good. Maybe at that point, by the way, we'll be able to gamble in the stadium as if it's like the Kentucky Derby. I understand and respect it, but I think fans are going to hate this whole entire thing. But change always brings a little bit of resistance. That's kind of the world that we live in. With that being said, the change that we're about to run into is a good one. Chris Mad Dog Russo, Mad Dog Unleashed, on the other side of this 6-minute break. His show will be better than ours, we promise. We're back tomorrow with a Feel Good Friday. Cheers. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it, dude. Just hit a home run there.
Delving deep into the depths of dumb.
Pretty cool, huh?
That was
Did not know what I was going to say, by the way, obviously, after maybe the first word, second word, the third word. And then when dumb popped in, I was like, that was a pretty good little time.
Here we go.
I felt pretty good about that.
Sprinting through the grocery aisle.
Yeah, I got to say that SmackDown. Maybe Hell in a Cell.
Oh.
Delving deep into the depths of dumb here. Rey Mysterio choosing to go against Roman Reigns in a Hell in a Cell match. Has to fight for his son, especially because it's Father's Day. But this is going to end up big time bad for the Rey Mysterio. I'm going to be the only one down there, I think. For the weekend, yeah.
Fighting for his mijo.
So
Mijo. That's his son, right? Yeah, you're right there.
Mijo.
Is Alan Quay in town?
No, he's back at home. Coach and wife, they're gone. Coaches right now are just disappearing.
Maybe you can hook up with Tom.
Me and Tom Brady down or anything?
Catch a Bolts game.
Oh, hey, let's go Bolts. They did invite me to a game.
They did. I think didn't Stamkos personally invite you?
No. It wasn't. It was the building. It was the building. We got a lot of people down there, I think, that listen to the show, by the way, that work in the Yuengling Center and also in the Tampa thing. We run into them. Erwin, shout out you, dude. Good guy. Greg, Gary. Maybe a Greg and a Gary.
Maybe both. Yeah.
Maybe both of them. Good people.
Gary.
They invited us to a game over there. We weren't able to stick around, obviously, because the schedule didn't match up. But good people down there in Tampa. I think I'm just going to go golf, probably lose 25 pounds in there. You know, it's going to be 400 degrees down there with humidity, probably, right now in the middle of June.
Yeah.
And my golf game, by the way.
You can dial it in.
Oh, man, hey. I was golfing barefoot last night, so I didn't move my feet as much anymore, you know, because I'm trying to keep the feet planted and doing it on concrete. You know what I mean? You don't want to move your feet because you scuff up your feet. In the grass, you can move and you slip and everything like that. I've got a much better base with the earth, you know what I mean? Much better base with the earth. So I can maybe DeChambeau this thing. Speaking of, who's leading that thing? Do we have an update of what's going on? I really like the Pat's Golf Ante. The PGA for the USGA. Woo. I feel good about it. Zalatoris, Morikawa, and Kokra to make the cut this weekend, plus 250. What's going on? Are they stinking? Why's your face doing that?
Me?
Yeah. You were shaking your head like, yeah.
Koepka is leading right now at -3, tied with Russell Henley. Morikawa was off to a tough start. He was +3, but he's back to +1.
Let's go. He's getting hot.
Okay, here we go.
His irons are getting hot. We need this to hit.
Kokrak is also at +1.
Okay, here we go. Hey,
and Zalatoris tees off at 255.
And Cutline's probably
right
going to
now.
be +2. Anyways, it's USGA. These are tough courses.
They're only 4 strokes back in the leader.
Yeah, so Jason need to make the cut. We need to get in there. I was getting, I kind of missed making super boosts.
Yeah, I bet.
I missed sending
They're awesome.
I missed the entire process. Hey, what can we do with blah blah blah? Oh, we got this. Nah, that's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to do that. Oh, we can do this. You like this? Well, let's do this instead. That whole process of building a boost. So we can beat. We talked about this yesterday. You are competing against the book. People need to know that. Okay? House always wins or whatever. And if you find something, first 5 Euros, if you just watch every single soccer game, if you find something you can beat them at, that's what we're in this for. Yep. Now, granted, they're potentially going to change that because they're going to try to beat you as well. This is a you versus them situation. I never obviously read a book, never really did much studying, but I always viewed tests as me versus the teacher, okay? This is me versus you. I'm not going to let you beat me. I was normally a pretty good test taker. Whenever you get on FanDuel Sportsbook, it's you versus them. Let's not get this twisted, okay? They're incredibly convenient. The app is unbelievable. Their odds are awesome, but we are trying to take every dollar from them. And that'll be like that forever, no matter who, how, whenever. When you're gambling, you're trying to beat them. So whenever I get these boosts up, they're trying to game me a little bit too. Oh, yeah. For instance, football season had to be a couple days before the game. Had to make these decisions. Oh, sorry, I can't do it. Good boost though. Hey, it was a good boost though, wasn't it? It was like, yeah, but you kind of. So I just want to let you know, I like getting back into it, especially on something I don't necessarily know enough about, but then we do research, reach out to Cupmaker Jeff, reach out to Diggs. Like, I enjoy that whole process of like doing the research, like, okay, what are some good people we can put in here, pretty good odds? I'm trying to take every fucking dollar they have.
We're in a pretty good spot right now, it seems like. I mean, 4 shots back, it's early, but I think what is it? It's normally top 50 and draws or within 10 shots. Each tournament's different. I could be completely fucking wrong about the U.S. Open, but somewhere around there.
Let's go.
Come on, boys. Keep swinging them.
We got to beat them. All right, we got to go hop on a plane. Hammer Dahn is at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1 hour from now. They are an ATM. They are an ATM right now.
Free money.
It might get cold. I mean, literally, Ernie Adams and every analytics person says that they are going to cool off at some point in the history of gambling. But right now, they are on a heater. Let's jump in, all the way in, make money off of sports we will never watch with the Hammer Down Boys, 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, every single day. And if not, you can just download the podcast every day. I think they put it out. So until further notice, we are betting alongside you guys. And when you guys get chilly, just let us know.
We will let you know.
It's not going to happen for probably ever. No. But if it does happen, just let us know so we know.
I'm currently CCing Foxy on all my bets, so he'll let you know.
Okay, smart. And then also tomorrow, $15,000 England first half money line against Scotland.
It's coming home.
That's where the money will go.
Football's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home.
And football's coming.
Football's coming home. Bloody hell.
There it is. You can get a bet on every street corner over here. But if you guys lose that bet, you have to clean the entire office. Hope that gets... Don't you do that next week, by the way. Don't do that before the weekend. If you guys lose, just go ahead and take that one on the shins. Have a weekend. Then when you come back next week, that's when you do it. I don't want you guys to have to spend, because I think what's going to happen with cleaning this office, if you guys lose, you're going to project a certain amount of time it's going to take, and then you're going to be like, well, turns out we missed 4 rooms in that thing.
Double it or triple it.
I hope England wins for the sake of everybody. Happiness. Money going into your guys' pockets, money going into Hammer Dahn Boys fans out there that watch along every side. But if you lose, I'm not pumped about it at all. I don't want to have to see you guys do this, but that's what you got to do. That's what it has to be.
We're worried about one area of this office, and it's that corner that no one ever goes in.
Ever. You just walk through it, and you just walk through it and keep the blinders on, and you just kind of get in there. We don't have. When we built this place, it was just an open area. Didn't put enough room for storage, I don't think. And that's something that, we have 2 storage lockers across the street, and they're still somehow a lot of shit that
Still
gets.
have those?
A lot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they've not gone up for a storage auction yet, like Storage Wars, but there's a chance some of that shit's going to get forgotten about for sure. There is desks, one of a kind type things in those things that kind of out of sight, out of mind here for at least the last couple of years or whatever. But the church will have a lot of storage, by the way, so we won't have to stare that shit down all the time.
There is some cool stuff in that storage stuff, like from when a bunch of your stand-up stuff is in there.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, shirts. I think there's some DVDs.
I'll go give a little look-see, like, if I said quarterly, that would make me look much better than I actually do. Probably yearly, I'll go ahead and peek in. Yeah, all right. Still in here. How much do we owe for this thing for the next 2 years so they don't sell our shit? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, see you later. We'll be back. But all that stuff goes into the church storage when we move up there.
Here we go.
Hey, let's go. Let's win tomorrow.
Come on now, boys. Win, boys. Come on.
Let's win tonight. Let's have a good one. Cheers, everybody. You're the best. We'll see you manana. Bye.